Tonight on 8.5-bit E3 things. See, it's sort of a twist on the three things that I say, but it's also three. Shut up. Welcome, friends of all designs, to episode 244 of 8.5-bit, which I'm sure is going to be the most E3 2018 episode of them all. I'm your host, Paul, and joining me tonight is my good friend, James.
Hello.
James, how are you going?
I'm going well, Paul. It's a little disappointing that we have no threes in our episode number tonight. I don't believe we're divisible by 3 either.
Are you sure?
Well, hold on. No.
Oh, goodness gracious me. It's got 2s and 4s, and 3 comes between 2 and 4.
That's true.
So there you go.
That's true. Close enough.
What a stupid tie-in. Okay.
I was trying to remember that old rule. Yeah, is it you add all the numbers up, the digits up, and if that's
If
divisible
that
by
number's
3,
divisible by 3,
then
yes.
you're safe. So then no.
I believe that's a thing.
Yeah, I believe it's a year 4 thing that they taught us.
Yeah. I mean, I would have just done maths.
Oh, you can maths that, can you?
Yeah.
All right, what is it?
Well, 240 would be divisible by 3.
Yes.
So 244 can't be divisible by 3, you fucking idiot, because it's 4 away from there.
You did maths. You maths real well.
Yeah, because I watch 8 out of 10 Cats Does Countdown.
I watched Square One.
Well, I don't know what that is.
You remember Square One?
No, that's why I said I don't know what that is.
It was a kids' television show just to teach maths.
Oh, what a show.
It was basically a bunch of skits. But my favorite thing was there was a segment called Maths Lock, where it was like 2 detectives who would solve crimes with maths.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Is it like Number Wang?
Number Wang?
You don't know Number Wang?
No.
Jesus, well, we can't explain it here. It's an old Mitchell and Webb sketch.
Okay, no.
It's a game show called Number Wang, and it is wonderful.
How you going, buddy?
Man, I cannot. Yeah, I'm just stuck in a thing that can't be described without just going and watching it. So I'm okay. I've been sick.
Yeah. That's what you want before a holiday.
I just had a cold. Yeah, but I took it super easy once I got sick. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to stop my body.
That's good.
I'm just going to lie down. I'm just going to
sleep,
have energy and sleep and take drugs. And so it was actually fine. I spent over the last. I watched all the prequel trilogy.
I'm sorry.
And you know what? Other than like the script and the acting and the direction, it's not all that bad.
I really struggle to get through episode 2 whenever I watch it.
That's the only decent one.
I really struggle. I get to the...
It's so bad. Anyone that says like 3 was like, oh, it's good because it's dark. It's like, no, it's fucking... no, I'm trying not to use that word. It's stupid as hell.
I know where you're going. And I get to the rolling in the grass part, and that's it. I'm out.
Oh, see, I'm in hysterics at that point.
No, because like it's
bad.
It's so bad.
See, the thing is that whole final act, well, the whole section, the Kenobi story is actually like an actual serial story.
Yeah.
And then by the time it's just like fighting monsters and shit, like it's dumb and it's not really traditional Star Wars, but I guess Lucas gets to call whatever he wants Star Wars. It is far more serially than... It's one of those things like there's always the claim that they're trying to make something like old serials, but they don't really because old serials suck. They did make it, and it still sucked. But I'm like, hey, I get this. Yeah. This is cool.
At least it wasn't about taxation like the first movie.
You know what? John Carter could have taken some
I haven't seen
cues
John
from
Carter.
episode 2. It's just a bit too boring. I was a big John Carter fan growing up. My grandfather was very into it.
I know not much about John Carter.
He's a guy on Mars,
like Flash Gordon kind of thing.
Yeah, kind of. Except he's a man of I can't even remember anymore. Like Civil War or something. He gets transported to Mars. I think it's a bit later than that. I don't know. As I said, I liked it growing up. Yeah. It's a long time since I paid any attention to it. Anyway, so E3 happened.
You did.
Okay, thank you for joining us on 8.5-bit. You can catch us on our website, 8.5bit.com, on Twitter and Facebook. Please like and share anything like that.
Yeah, it's good.
So we've decided, instead of just trying to run down everything and cover all the conferences...
I expect a tick next to every one of those games by the time we're done.
Well, this is the short list, so that is doable.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's already a long list.
I had 6 pages of full notes, which was already culled, and I've culled it down to our page of notes. Well, it's 2 columns on a page. But but it includes my top fives. Because we're going to do some top fives this episode.
Yes.
We're going to do top 5 things of E3
and
top 5 letdowns of E3.
Yes.
But that also doesn't mean we can't talk about other shit. But we don't need to go through point by point every single conference. We ended up doing 2 conferences on just the podcast feed. If you're just a YouTube listener, which is 12 people,
hold on. Sometimes it's 20.
Yeah, if you go to the podcast feed, which is where most people digest the show, there are some live commentaries of EA and Microsoft's. Microsoft's is probably the better one because there weren't audio problems.
Yeah.
Weird thing. I have no idea how it happened.
Yeah, when we started that first one, and I was like, Paul, your voice is a bit deep.
Yeah, because we weren't recording it like normal. We were recording it just on our computers, which is why there was no video. And James said my voice was very deep.
And you're like, oh, no, silly James.
No, sometimes I have a deepish voice, especially in the morning. And I often have to like mix the bass out of myself so it's more listenable. I mean, it's weird. I don't have like a deep voice, but I sometimes have like a weird timbre that goes through the bottom of it. Yeah, I was 2 semitones lower than I should have been.
It was very strange.
Yeah, I don't even know what character sounds that deep. It's like Barry Manilow, like in a large cave.
I liked it. If you could speak like that all the time, that'd be amazing.
If I could speak like that, I could vibrate at the optimal frequency for everybody's genitals to just have a wonderful time. Yeah.
I'm just getting as it is right now, I'm just getting light tingling.
It's sitting on a freaking bass speaker, which is how we have pitched how we should get people to play Thumper. We put 2 just nice big like
just right
monitors either side,
but
they sit on a sub.
Yeah,
potentially without underwear on.
I still want to VR it.
Yeah,
I think VR.
No, that's how you do it.
Yeah,
you do VR, massive speakers on a sub. Let your whole body vibrate, potentially have a heart attack. Just
you will probably poop yourself.
Oh, it's
but that's part of the
guaranteed. You have to wear a nappy.
Yeah.
It will be amazing. Yeah, so Thumper Nappy Edition was announced at E3.
Yeah.
That is my number 6. Okay, so shall we just start counting and then we get... So the other thing that is also missing is that we also just have regular show.
Yeah, because there's like other things have happened.
I've played through several games. And thoughts about things. So let's just kick it off with some number 5s.
Okay.
So James, what is your number 5 best thing at E3?
Number 5 best thing. I got to pick one.
You forgot to actually pick
I just sort of kind of pick it as I go and like let my heart decide.
I want to know if that top one there is a positive or a negative.
Not telling. Division 2. That one kind of stuck out to me. It looks like it's fixing a lot of the issues that I had with Division 1, but not all of them.
What issues are those?
Mainly the environments are a bit more varied. I thought the opening was really good because it actually started off in like this dense jungle environment.
Yeah, I think on the stream we thought it was Just Cause 4.
Yeah, like, this is interesting. Like, what's going on? And it actually turns out it was in like a zoo or a botanical gardens or something. But it did demonstrate that, like, there's going to be... like a lot of varied environments around the city. Or
maybe just those that
or maybe Jungle Park.
Maybe just that one.
The rest of it's just going to be, The
rest of it's just a bunch of offices.
Yeah, it could just be. But then it had like the outside environment with Air Force One that had crashed and there was like some fighting happening around in there. It looked good. What are you giggling about?
I just got to check so I'm actually accurate. I can't remember which one it was. It's Trump news.
Okay. Probably the thing that was like, is it still seems very damage spongy with humans, which I think that's something that it's just a core conceit you have to make with the...
I was listening to some of the devs talk about it. It is more an effort to put visible armor on things that take a lot of hit now. Yeah. But that still doesn't fix the core conceit. But at the end of the day,
I have a gun that looks real and a person that looks like a person and I'm pouring round after round into their head and they're not dying. And that does take away a bit of the fantasy.
So speaking of the end of America fantasies,
yeah.
Did you hear about the new agency that Trump created today?
No.
So you know how it included me. It reminded me because you said Air Force One.
Yeah.
Space Force.
Yes.
It's called Space Force. I guess it's a Space Force.
Yeah.
It's like it's like an 80s Charles cartoon. It sounds like it's going to be great. Do you want to join the Space Force? I have no details. I mean, I can't. You know what? I mean, I'm not saying that he can't even accidentally do something good. I don't know what it is. All I know is that it's called Space Force.
I'm going to assume this is going to be a bunch of badasses that are protecting us from the evils of the galaxy.
Hopefully,
and they're probably going to come with his own line of cereal.
What I mean, what if Trump ends up defending us from like an alien scourge that no one else was prepared for?
He's already
because he made Space Force.
He's already fixed Korea. He's got that one down. What's he going to do next?
No, we can't forget any reality because it's going to get real messy real fast.
Do you think Trump's going to accidentally be an amazing president?
No. I mean, in the best wild fantasies, yes. It's just like he Mr. Magoo's his way to like genius to world peace. It's like, and then suddenly everyone's like, you know what? This fucking works. Everyone's happy. Everyone's, oh my God. And he just like, goodbye now. And he goes off to his home planet, and then taken there by Space Force.
He's just laying the groundwork for it. That's all he's doing. Yeah, the guy's got a plan.
Secret genius. Yeah. Knew it all along. That's why when you go back, 2 years ago on the podcast, I'm there saying like, I can see an argument for Trump. I don't think anyone would take me seriously. Jesus Christ.
Well, that's what swayed the voters, right?
Yeah, it was
like
me.
We hold major political sway.
That's a lot, yeah. I once made somebody leave a voting booth. I mean, they finished voting first, but still.
Yeah. And you just farted in the previous next
it's
one.
It's true. I mean, they may have just been done. I'm leaving. It's hard to tell, but I am quite obnoxious. So Division 2, anything else about at the moment?
No, it's just it's more Division with some tweaks to the formula.
Yeah. I just wish it could get over that base conceit.
Really I don't know if they can. Like they're just kind of stuck with it. Like, how do you?
They just need energy shields.
Yeah, that's actually the way they could do it. Just like, you know what, shields. That's it. Done. You're right. That would solve it. Just go. Look, we're already in near future, so fuck it. Shields, personal shields.
It's just it's one of those. As soon as it became a sci-fi concept, and it really seemed to be more pushed in games. It's like, yes, when you shoot someone, you see little pew pews until the shield is depleted, and then it's like, and then it's a shot to the fucking face, and you're dead. But it does mean that it takes away from that grit, which people want. Yeah,
they want it to be like the scrappy survivors, and the scrappy survivors having personal shields. I can understand.
The fantasy doesn't quite work the same.
Yeah, it's just one of those like core problems with it, which I don't think is that fixable.
Okay, so my number 5 actually gets to tie in a little bit. Yeah, is Ubisoft's madness. One of the things that's great about conferences is that they're often batshit crazy. Yeah. Now, Ubisoft, I think, over the last few years has found a perfect balance of like dumb, shitty things, but they're generally in on the joke and they're done with a spirit of fun. So this year we had, at the very beginning, they are doing a Beyond Good and Evil 2 thing, and as they're walking off stage, the mics are still on, and they go, nailed it. And then after I can't remember what the next thing was, the mics was like, I think they were obviously leaving the mics on as they left. And it was just like, it's like, oh, I'm sorry about your entry. It's like, yes, they're changing it every day. It started with just a huge Just Dance, like dance number and everything. Because not too many people were doing entertainment at the shows anymore. But Ubisoft is like, we're going to start in the streets. We're going to do all this. Yeah, it's going to be great fun. Also on Just Dance, what platforms was it announced for?
Switch
and
iPhone. I can't remember.
Think Nintendo,
DS,
Wii U, and
Wii.
Yes.
That's because you can go buy a Wii for $20 at Cash Converters.
Hey, they know their fucking market. Yeah. All those people that bought them back in the day to play Wii Sports on can still play Just Dance. It's like, I thought that was amazing.
Yeah.
What else was madness? Oh, the guy that came down for Trials. The new Trials. And he came down, I think he was apparently doing a homage to someone else that I'm not really aware of, but like dressed sort of like Evel Knievel-y, like runs down, does a pratfall into the podium, which is obviously just built of balsa wood and has a mat underneath it, just smashes it to pieces. But my favorite bit was then, before he got up, he took a moment to just be like crouched on the ground going like, okay, well, Trials is here.
I can't remember if that was a conference with the adorably scared Viking.
Because he was talking about shit. What game?
I can't remember what the game was though.
Oh, god damn it!
But he was like this really big guy with all these tattoos, and he was shitting himself. It was
Yeah, he was
adorable.
good, yeah.
And like there was this awkward silence at the beginning where I think the auto prompt had stalled or something like that.
That might have been Ubisoft. Yeah.
And he was just there, like there was this silence where like you could just see him internally screaming. And then he gets started.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's like, are you gonna cry? I think he's about to cry.
Help me, Hemdale. Help me.
It was so cute. I think there was like whenever the conference is, let's just get devs on the stage.
The best.
And that's just like it's just adorable. Like, you know that like they're not going to be good presenters. You know that they have spent weeks being terrified of this moment.
Yeah.
You know, they've been at home practicing and practicing, or they're the ones which haven't practiced.
Those are the best. They just turn up in like shorts and a t-shirt.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I didn't think to dress up. Shit.
Yeah, I wrote this on the way in. I hope it's okay.
Where do I look? And what should I do with my hands?
Like,
Very important questions.
It feels very genuine as well. Like I really appreciated it. Like it's probably not the best PR move, but it's adorable.
Oh, I think it's good PR. It works well. Aries just made a huge mistake in my list.
No, you didn't.
Was there any other madness at Ubisoft? Of course, presenting the Division 2. They're the only people. The only ones that still do force can chatter.
Oh yeah, because I think when we were watching it, we wanted to stop and like just sort of.
We wanted to absorb it.
Yeah, absorb it. Like, say, are they like doing in-game voice? And I think we couldn't quite tell if it was they're voicing like it was just in-game character dialogue or a human speaking.
But that was also at the Microsoft contract.
Yeah.
But it's still Ubisoft that produced that can talk, so they still get those points.
Yep.
But also the main guy, when you went back and watched it, the guy who you're actually following is a bit shit. And they're all helping him along. So yes, Ubisoft Madness gets my number 5. And before we go on to non-E3 things for a little while, let's start with our shit list. What is your number 5? Disappointment, low point, whatever.
Oh, see, I actually struggled a little bit getting this together, but it was more finding the fifth one to put on the list. So there were 4 things which were really high on my list. I might actually start off with Death Stranding.
Oh, I was wondering because that's what I saw it at the top of your list. I'm like, is that a top 4 or a bad 4?
No, that's a low.
I very much agree. I'll go into that more later.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm a huge Kojima apologist. And I am very much looking forward to what Kojima is going to do with this game.
And I'm still looking forward to what he's going to do.
I'm looking forward to it. I am getting real tired of getting teased by things that don't explain to me what the hell this is. And all they really showed was someone walking over an environment.
It's a FedEx game.
With nothing in it.
With various different shaped packages on their back.
With different packages on back. And I think they had the audacity to call it gameplay. Because it really wasn't. It was, if anything, it was like, you're showing me like a tech demo or something. And
it's basically Breath of the Wild.
It's probably not far from it. But if the game was just that, I probably wouldn't play it. Because it's like, it's not even the environments are interesting. It's like literally like, we just generated the terrain. We haven't put any trees on it or anything. We're just going to generate the thing and go walk on it.
There's some planks over a ravine.
We'll put some planks in there.
But what about when he pulls the fucking toenail off?
I don't care. And then like the big reveal was, we've licensed another person's face. And like,
someone wasn't big enough for me to recognize.
Yeah, I didn't even recognize who it was. Like, look who's this person we got. I've personally never seen the appeal of putting likeness of people into games anyway.
Yeah.
Like, I don't get it. Like, why not? Like, it's a computer game. You can make them look like whatever. You don't have to put their likeness in.
Yeah, like how in the new Gears with Nathan Fillion, and it's like, is it Gears that he's in that it doesn't look anything like him? Or was it something else?
Yeah, I think it was Gears.
Yeah, and like, oh my god, Nathan Fillion doesn't look like Nathan Fillion.
I think it's actually quite a big guy in it. Like it was, yeah. But like, I much prefer that because like to put someone's likeness in, it'd be like if I was going to see a Pixar movie or something. And they just made the character look like the actor. Like, it just doesn't make sense to me that you do that.
That'd be great. That'd be perfect.
So like,
I'd like to see an episode of Bob's Burgers where everyone looks like their voice actor.
They could do that, right?
It
seems like a thing that show would do.
Have you ever seen like a live read?
No, I haven't.
Stuff? Well, because almost all the voice actors are men.
Oh, okay.
Linda is the best. Anyway.
So actually, I thought it was one of the weaker parts of the show. Just because if you want answers out of it, it didn't actually show it as something that was exciting.
Look, even though I structured this as a top 5, let's not bother sticking to a structure of top 5 because just when there's conversation there. So what I had as my number 2 most disappointing thing was Sony's entire press conference.
Oh, you put Sony there.
Because what they said was that we're going to do 4 games. We're going to do deep dives into those games. Really show, like, let you know what those games are. And out of that press conference, I knew fuck all extra about any of those games. Death Stranding, I still don't know what kind of game it is.
I have no idea.
I can make some assumptions, especially from it's like, but they didn't say, okay, well now here's what it's actually going to be. Ghost of Tsushima looks beautiful. Don't get me wrong. But other than me knowing it was a samurai open world game, I still don't know anything about it really. I know it looks really pretty, which I guess I didn't. No, we saw a little bit of it.
Yeah, no, we already knew it was going to look good.
We saw it look pretty. And and you assume it's going to be anyway. I mean, there's some talk that it may not even be this generation. It may be next generation. Okay. I don't know about where that lands. But again, it's like I still don't know anything about its structure or like what it's going to be. The Last of Us Part 2, like there was parts of the fight in there. There's a fight that happens inside a convenience store, and the movement is unbelievable. I cannot like the main character is moving between shelves and dodging things in such a natural way. I don't understand how those animation systems tie into someone controlling it. Like, does it basically become scripted at a point?
Yeah,
because
am I going from like point to point? Like,
is it almost like Dragon's Larry? It's like if I push left and between two things, will she just squeeze through automatically? At how much control do I really have? I assume it will be tight control, but I don't know. Yeah, but I still don't know anything more about that game than I really knew before. And Spider-Man was like, okay, it was a cool action sequence, and I got a little bit more story. But I don't know, maybe it's just me. Story is not the thing that I'm there to find out about. And I already knew all the things about the gameplay. It looks good. It's like, oh, just wait. You focused your conference down to deep dive into 4 games, and you did not deep dive into any of them. It's like, oh. And then, man, the weird things where they start in that church, and then they show 2 games, and they're like, okay, well, everyone stand up. We're going to move to another location, and we're just going to play some trailers. I can't remember what the other there were good trailers in the middle, but and we're going to walk to another location. It's like, what the hell is this? It's out with the guy playing the banjo, and then there's a guy playing a flute.
Something like that.
Anyway, I was like, this is just a weird pressure. Yeah. Sony, you've made some weird choices that I do not understand. And I still just left with so many questions I want to know about those games, and you got me filled in. I still don't know what Death Stranding is.
Yeah. I watched an analysis video of it, and I actually stopped watching it because I wouldn't say it's spoilery, but it seems like if you're someone that wants to dig into things, then you can probably put together some pieces to go figure out what's going on in the world, at least.
Yeah, but that's the thing. That's the one thing I don't want to know.
Well, that's why I didn't watch it. That's why I want to discover what this world is. I don't need to go and put the pieces together to learn about the world. I want to know what the hell I'm doing in this game. And so far, all it's shown me is a game that if I am just walking through an empty environment, I'm not particularly interested in playing.
Hey, and there's invisible monsters that walk around that you have to avoid, and there's a weird umbrella.
Yeah. So it's a little stealthy, I guess. I'm expecting it's going to be that. And they're like, it is really...
A Kojima game with some stealth?
I know, it's madness.
So who would have thought it? Impossible. You couldn't have guessed that before.
No. So no, that was real disappointing.
It was one of those things. I was surprised that they said they were going to have a quarter of the show dedicated to Death Stranding. I'm like, surely it's not a state to show off like that in depth yet. And I was right.
Yeah.
Anyway, so shall we skip away from E3 for a little while?
Okay.
You been playing anything, James?
Give me a look at the list.
At your list. Oh.
Can I have a look? Oh. Well, pick something for me.
Okay, I'll talk about the games I like. Yeah, you pick from your list. I'm just going to put some air on because I'm heating up in here.
Okie dokie. Oh, actually, I've played a little bit of Smoke and Sacrifice. So I'll talk about that one a little bit. So I picked up Smoke and Sacrifice on Switch. So it's the best I can liken it to is a little bit Don't Starve if it was in a world that looks like... I'm trying to remember the name of the game. It's like an adventure game where there's only one episode of it, and I was trying to remind you about it, and then you couldn't remember what it was.
Although this is good.
Yeah, it was a game where it was a world where there was rock, paper, scissors, as like a trifecta of like forces.
And I was like, I've never heard of this. You know, I'm sure you know about it.
No,
Paul.
and I really define it
don't.
because the game is amazing. It's got a very kind of dark gothic art style to it.
That looks just like this game. That
looks like this game, which is a very unique art style.
Doesn't the main character have like steampunk goggles on?
Yeah,
her head?
so it's a bit steampunky as well.
Boo.
Yeah. So I was looking at it and like, okay, like it looks a little action RPG.
Uh-huh.
Like, okay, that looks good. I did some reading about the crafting in it, and like it is crafty, but not really like Don't Starve. It's not a survival game. It's an adventure game. And it's more you craft to get items to unlock new areas of the world. And then once you've got it, like you get your snowshoes so you can go on the snow. Mm-hmm. That's more what it's about than eating or anything like that.
But when you have the snowshoes, does that change is there then a gameplay impact from that as well? Or is it just a game?
Now you can walk on the thing and not slide around.
But it doesn't like... the walking's no different to normal walking?
No, it's still the same walking.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's boring gating.
Yeah. So it's basically the crafting. Yeah, it's been turned into gating. So I look at action RPG, some light crafting things. Okay, this looks something, like a cool aesthetic. I'll check it out. You play this woman who's like, they sacrifice a child like to something every year or something, and she starts with her sacrificing a child, and then it's getting zapped by this big machine and disappearing, and then going to 3 years later, and it's like the story. I'm like,
just
okay,
like Prestige.
Sorry,
just like the Prestige.
Just like the Prestige, probably pretty close to Prestige. I've
just worked out the twist of that game.
Well, no, you very quickly find out that he hasn't actually been killed. It's sort of like he was zapped by a teleporter. That's sort of like after the intro. It's like, oh, okay, so there's a good chance your son's still alive because you accidentally get teleported through. The world is interesting. Unfortunately, the crafting kind of sucks. The combat kind of sucks. It's if you're gonna like it to anything, I'd probably liken it to the Butterscotch Shenanigans game.
Butterscotch Shenanigans? You're just making up games now.
Shenanigans. No, Crashlands.
Oh, I didn't play Crashlands, but at least I know that.
Yeah, combat's a little bit like Crashlands.
That's a game it's real. That's a real one you're referencing now, James. They're just making up fucking games. The Butterscotch Shenanigans.
I love them as company name, and they're the Butterscotch Shenanigans.
That is a good company name.
Yeah, I love it. But the biggest thing I've got, apart from the combat being shitty, is that the world is so uninteresting to look at. Like, there's no landmarks or anything like that.
Yeah.
So you constantly have to open the world map to get your bearings because there's no way to tell. Like, when you're in a particular biome, that there's just not enough detail to get your bearings on where you are.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like I walk for a bit, I open the map and go, oh, okay, I've got to go south because that's where that person is. So I walk south. And like, okay, talk to them. It's like, okay, I've got to go here. And it's like, I'll start to walk that direction, bring up the map, check. Okay, I'm on the got to go correct.
But there's no actual like there's nothing to actually learn the world or
no,
anything.
And that's because in any given like point of the world, it's like it's the same stuff. It's the same trees. It's the same tile set. There's just because I don't think it's procedural. I'm pretty sure it's handcrafted, but it's like they've procedurally generated the world and then haven't gone back in to make it interesting. So even to the point where in a particular biome, you might need to get a resource. And it's not even like a certain region will have more of one thing. Like there's more crabs or something in one area. It's like there might be crabs around the coastline, but it just means you kind of go to the coastline and do it. Like it's not like, oh, here's a little village because they plonked some houses down. But that's about as like interesting as a region gets. So for a game which I was there to learn about the world and explore it, it's not a particularly compelling experience to stick around with.
I'll give you my polar opposite experience then. So it was announced at E3 and released that day. Hollow Knight finally came to the Switch, which meant it's time for Paul to play it.
And Paul does like his roguelike-y, platformery. It's not really roguelike, is it? It's a bit more soulsy.
No, it's a bit souls-like. So I'm coming very late to the party.
Yeah, it's been out for a while.
I thought ages ago, I was like, I'll just wait for the Switch. I mean, we played it, I think it was maybe at the first PAX it was showing. Yeah. It's a long time coming. And I understand why it has so much praise now. It is a phenomenal game. It has very, very tight controls, very impactful combat. It has a thing that I just suddenly realized I wish Souls had, all the Dark Souls games, because when you get hit, it just takes a hit off you Like, you can't get hit by something that's... I think some explosions sometimes do too. But normally, no matter how big the boss, no matter how what is, it just takes a hit off you.
It's a heart or a...
It's a fate. It's a mask.
Yeah.
But it's the equivalent of a heart sort of thing. You accidentally get knocked off a cliff, you just reappear and you've lost a thing.
Yeah.
Now, that doesn't make the game easy.
No, I didn't play it myself. I watched Cheryl play it, and it looked hard as shit.
I wouldn't say it's hard as shit, but it has a good challenge level to it. I'd probably say I've got through maybe a third of the bosses without dying.
Okay.
But then the other ones might have taken me quite a few goes. So it's all like, yeah. So there's a good balance. There's a real balance of skill levels there. But it's just like, it's a game that can still fuck you over. You still get caught all the time. But one little mistake might put you in a position where you're going to get fucked, but you're not instantly fucked. It's not totally over. Then you die, and then you have to get back to your corpse and fight it before you can get your stuff back.
Because it's got like the dropping your effectively souls, isn't it?
It's your money. Yeah. You lose your money. So you can get it back and everything, but it's... Sometimes if you're doing that risk reward thing and you realize you haven't got anywhere to save for a while and shit, I just died and I haven't got a checkpoint. The last checkpoint's on literally the other side of the map. Oh, God.
Yeah.
So really, really satisfying combat. Game's about exploration. This is where I've had the most debate about the game. It's the map system. Some people hate it. I don't love it. I think they've made sort of milling. So when you're exploring this world, there is no map. But in each area, you'll find this bug because everyone in the world is bugs. You'll find this guy who's doing cartography, and he will say, sell you a map for the area. The map's not finished. So you have to buy the map, and then also at the beginning of the game, you'll buy a quill, and you'll buy a bunch of pins. And then as you explore, the map gets filled out more. Yeah. Never in extreme detail, but pretty good detail.
So
eventually.
we're talking like Super Metroid style filling in?
Yeah, but as long as you have all those other things, you have to, each time you get to a new area, you have to go find the map maker again because you don't have a map of that new area to work on. So in some areas, it seems that they deliberately keep him away for a long time. So you'll have no map for an area for a good percentage of playing it. But it's good because you learn the area as well. I can see where it is a frustration, where it's like, I'm trying to get around the world and I don't know how it all interconnects and everything. But it was sort of like, I kind of wish they either went... So it mostly... All those things I said you got to buy, they're super cheap.
Yeah.
The first time I went to the cottage that sells all the stuff for the maps, I bought everything the first go. I was like, I earn this much money from the first boss in the game. This isn't tough to earn up. But that said, with that being kind of doesn't matter, why hide it in the first place? You can put your own pins as well if you find interesting points to come back to that you don't have the abilities to deal with yet. So you can add your own pins to it. But I kind of wish that if they were going to go that far, have the game like kind of about map making.
More like Etrian's Odyssey or something.
Yeah.
Maybe not quite Etrian's Odyssey.
I mean, to agree, that's kind of where I was thinking with it. So either make it a more involved mapping system or just make it automatically fill out as you go. Like,
it's a little bit
both.
Yeah, like I guess what's to gain out of not giving the map? Like in terms of the player experience wise, is it just like you feel more lost or you...
Yes, very much. 100% about being lost. The game is about being lost. The game world is like, I'm like, Paul, you're 2/3 through this game. You know where everything's going. You've got like a drive of what's happening. You know where all the characters interrelate. You've uncovered most of the map. Yeah, you're on the way. Yeah. And then I saw a critique online. I was like, I'm going to watch some of this. I don't mind a few little spoilers here and there. It'll be fine. I'm like maybe halfway through the game. If it's like, holy shit, there's at least double the map I haven't even discovered exists. I thought I was like at the edges. No, I'm not. I'm not at the edges. There's so many more bosses than I knew. But the game has that. I'd say even better than Dark Souls. When you enter a new area and you go into a room and like there's a creature there and you're just like on guard and like, oh, it's not attacking me, okay. And you like inch up to it. And then it just gives you like some sad dialogue or something. Okay, so here's a spoilery thing for the first boss in the game. So it's basically this big knight, but it's actually a small maggot that's sitting inside this suit of armor. Kill it. Great. In the game...
So it's basically Earthworm Jim.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah. So when you kill an enemy, it goes into sort of like a bestiary. But then it basically gives you one bit of description. And then there's a second part of description about the creature that's only unlocked when you kill a certain number of that kind of creature. So when you kill one of these things, you get the first little bit of description, and then it says you have to kill 3 to unlock the rest. Yep. Well, these aren't common enemies or anything. It's like, oh, okay. You go back to that area, just wondering, you find like a little secret passage, and there you find the corpse of the one you killed with 2 of its family mourning over it.
Oh, no.
They do not attack you. In fact, they flee in terror.
Oh, wow.
But if you want to fill out that bestiary...
Did you fill out the bestiary?
I felt so bad.
You did fill out the bestiary.
And the game is full of little things like that.
So what was the other? What did it say? What did you learn about them? It's just like the real monster is you.
I can't. Well, basically, it actually was quite insulting to the creatures, like calling them useless and stuff. Like, there's a real voice to everything in the game. There's a real tone. There are some real feel bads in it, like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, like so many characters to like. I didn't think there'd be so many characters to encounter, but they're all over the place. And it is very Souls-like in the way the story is given to you. It's in item descriptions. It's in
like world description,
like
world environmental storytelling, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, there'll be other characters that wander around, and you'll encounter them randomly around the world. And the world it's not entirely non-linear. There is some gating, but especially once you reach a certain point, the whole world opens up. And I say it's huge. And your choice is to go anywhere you goddamn well want. And no matter what your abilities are, it'll just let you go there. And you don't really get that much stronger in the game. You do get a little bit stronger. But it's almost entirely about you go to a new area and then you learn how to deal with that area. Yeah. So you can't really go somewhere that you're totally screwed, but it might require a skill level you haven't quite achieved yet. It's great. It's really oppressive. It's beautiful. It runs at 60 frames a second.
Well, that's what I wanted to ask you, because I was watching, because I like vicariously just played it through Cheryl.
Yeah.
And she was playing on PS4.
Yeah.
And there were plenty of times that game got real framing. Like, it seemed like it was really poorly optimized.
I was listening to an interview with the main programmer the other day, and he said, so when he first made the game, he didn't know what he was doing. His first game he made, and he sucked. And to make the Switch port was a lot more work because you had to do it properly.
Yeah, well, he must have done a lot of re-engineering to make that Switch port.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. But then he said, but now that's I think that's now gone back into the other versions of the game as well.
Oh, okay.
So everything now runs better than it used to.
Yeah.
This game is pretty much buttery smooth.
Okay. Well, because when I was watching Cheryl play it, and I was watching, like, I think there were some areas where there was a lot of particles on the screen.
Yeah.
And that was like the frame rate was tanking. And I was just looking at it going, yeah, there's probably a lot of overdraw going on with those particles. Like, there's probably alpha, and it's like each pixel's getting drawn like 10 times. It's a pretty game, but
there's nothing about the art style that should require this slowdown.
Yeah, and so I was looking at, like, just sort of like trying to figure out what possibly could do it. But the things I was guessing was like, it's probably really low-hanging fruit to go fix. Like, it just seemed like the kind of thing where I'm sure if you just ran it through a profiler, there'd be some things which would pop out like, okay, got to fix this, got to fix this, got to fix this. So yeah, well, I'm glad that he went back and
that's where
he would have learned a lot.
So the Switch version has all of the currently available DLC because all the DLC for the game is free. So that's all wrapped in. It runs buttery smooth. It's portable, and it's like it's such a good version to play.
There's probably a good reason if you're going to make an indie game, like an indie kind of platform or whatever game like that, and you want to bring it to Switch, target the Switch first.
Yeah.
Like, you target that shit, because at that point you're basically working on mobile hardware. You're going to be fine.
Everything else is going to be fine.
It's going to be fine. Yeah.
It's as I say, very impressive game, very impressive port.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure, actually I meant to check it before, I'm pretty sure it was only $15.
Oh, Jesus.
I was like, and that's where I sort of like, I'm at 2/3 through the game, because at that point I was like 10 hours or so. I'm like, this is a pretty substantial game. And then when I realized I wasn't even that, I'm like, this game is massive. This is the kind of game that I can play for weeks and everything. And at I'm pretty sure it was $15. I was like, yeah, this is insanely good value. I'm just going to double check it just to be sure, because it does seem super cheap.
That seems like real cheap. I know there's a big sale on the Nintendo store at the moment.
Yeah, there's also sales on there. Well, actually, even Nintendo stuff is quite has pretty significant discounts.
Yeah.
Like I think like Splatoon 2 is like 40% off and stuff. Yes. They couldn't autocorrect Hollow Knight. Apparently,
how much is it, buddy?
Someone just give me the answer straight away, damn you.
Someone in chat can do it. You just find it.
Yeah. Someone do it. Yeah, I think there's someone's there.
I think Cal. There's Cal. Hey, Cal.
Cal's there.
Hey, buddy.
Hello, Cal. Hollow Knight pricing. It was, either way, when it came out, I was surprised at how cheap it was.
Yeah.
There's been a bit of that recently. Okay. Oh, good. Don't actually put it there. Just put a logo of all the things. And things I can't check on the Switch because once you've bought something, it just says purchased.
Dude, look, do I need to get my Switch and check this?
You might need to.
Can we can
God
just
damn, show the fucking price.
Sorry, buddy. It costs some amount of money. Paul may or may not be right. It's just let it go.
Okay. While I check this, let's do our number 4s.
Jesus Christ. Highs or lows?
Let's start with the highs.
Okay, number 4 highs. Wolfenstein Youngblood.
Oh yes, the new Wolfenstein game.
Yeah, because I was a massive fan of Wolf 2. Really, really enjoyed it. And it was really nice to see that with the new one where you're playing Billy Blusterwitz's as twin daughters. Yeah, again, there you go, a bit better.
You don't have to lean in as much. Yeah. Just put it more towards
and because you're playing the daughters, they can move time forward. And so they've put this one into 1980s France. So it has much more of that kind of like retro 80s vibe than the retro 60s vibe. So it's just kind of cool to see them. Like, I think they did such a great job at taking like a pop culture era. They took the 60s and then let's look at it through the lens of if the Nazis won. They're just doing that again with France. So what happens if the 80s was through the lens of the Nazis winning?
So there's a few questions I have about it. First up, is this after Wolfenstein 3? Or is this Wolfenstein 3?
I don't know.
From what I heard, it's not Wolfenstein 3. Yeah, $15. Yes, fuck yes.
Oh, Jesus, took you a while. You got there, buddy.
Fuck you. I think it's $15 US, but still very good.
Yeah. That's a good question. Like, I didn't get the feeling from it that this was trying to be like the Old Blood, where that
as a side story.
As a side story, because I think it's thematically it's so different. But then Old Blood was also back in the 40s because it was sort of World War II era before the 60s stuff.
So if this isn't Wolfenstein 3, does that mean that the end of Wolfenstein 3 is you lose?
Well, it could be if they do have a story in the middle there somewhere. I guess.
Because I mean, it's a big wait between the end of Wolfenstein 2.
Look, I've been kind of thinking it as Wolf 3. Like, I mean, maybe they're moving away from numbering it and just going to go, we'll just have different eras. I don't know.
But won't it be the new something?
Oh, maybe. Maybe they'll just make it contemporary. They'll just bring it up to modern day. Done. Hope not. I like when they do alternative
Old Man
history.
Blazkowicz.
Yeah, Old Man Blazkowicz. But the big thing here being...
How old will Mecha Hitler be by now?
His brain is plenty safe.
Oh, good.
The thing here, but there being twins, is it has co-op. Which I probably won't play, because I don't really play co-op that much. But it's there for people who like it.
Who are?
People who like co-op. People who enjoy playing with other people.
Now, I don't remember.
Yeah.
Did we actually see any of the game?
No. It's more the style of it. I personally don't really care because I'm pretty sure it's just going to be more Wolfenstein, given that's what they've done for the last 3 Wolfenstein games. So I'm okay with that.
But we did see one Wolfenstein game there.
Which one?
The VR Wolfenstein game.
Oh yeah, I filtered VR out of now.
Oh man, you get to play Nazi like war robots.
Oh no, that was actually pretty cool.
You get to breathe fire.
Yeah, they had it like you were going.
Tricked you. It's not cool. Fuck you.
No, like
that's fine.
That was actually now remembering it that. Yeah, I don't mind VR as much when it's like, let's try to find interesting reasons to project you around. It's not just like a teleport or something like that. But still, I'm actually not that keen on VR these days.
But there's the best VR game of the show, which is not in my list, but I'm going to talk about it anyway. Did you see the trailer for Ghost Giant?
No.
Okay.
Pitch me Ghost Giant.
So, you are a ghost giant.
Okay. I'm sold. I'm done.
It's sort of it's well, we'll frame it a little bit like Moss. So you're like this big creature around. There's like this small mouse, and it sees you.
I thought you would say like Moss, like the IT crowd.
No.
This is interesting.
No, the VR game Moss, which is a direct comparison. Yeah. So basically you're looking down on this world. You are a big giant who is a ghost, and little things scared of you. It's like, oh no, but you're actually it's here. It's very friendship focused. It's very cutesy. What I fucking loved about this game is that it gives you like the village. And the village is like a playset So it's like literally like, oh, this old man's watching the TV. So you grab like his house on top of a tower and turn it around and open the door and like start messing with his TV and shit. And it's this little, it's like a adventure playset.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Why hasn't Old Man Molyneux made black and white VR?
Why hasn't he made black and white Milo?
Oh, Milo. I forgot about Milo.
I like how I took the black and white instead of the VR bit. It's old time Milo. He's like, you'll be able to scan a skateboard and then Milo will be able to ride it. It'll be amazing.
Oh, Milo.
So yeah, Ghost Giant.
Ghost Giant. Okay, it's a black and white VR.
No, not at all. What made you think that?
No, that's just what my head wants now.
No. Think about like Skeletor's Skull Fortress, but with little creatures running around it, and you can just like open shit up, and
so it's like a dollhouse, interactive dollhouse.
Yeah, big interactive unit, but it's a little village, and that just fucking sold me. And the interactions are a little bit like Genog, which I really enjoyed.
Yeah.
It's like, just what does this button do? Oh, that's great. Okay. Yeah. If I had VR, I'd play some Ghost Giant. Okay, so my number 4, and this was the major mistake I made before. I accidentally wrote Starfield. Fuck that.
So you crossed that one out.
What I meant was Starlink.
Oh, okay, Paul.
So here's the thing.
Yeah.
Starlink was like the biggest joke of last year.
Yep.
It was stupid.
Yeah.
It was stupid beyond that. It is a Toys to Life game where you get a little ship and you put it on your controller and you change weapons by physically taking a weapon off and putting another weapon on.
Yep.
And it looked dumb. The difference this year is that they showed the game. And the game actually looks fucking cool.
Holy shit. So, Paul, if you have a look at my list.
Yeah.
So you may have been expecting Starlink to be in the lows.
Yeah.
But it's been moved up to the wait and see.
Yeah.
So the version you want to get is the Switch version. The reason being is it will digitally unlock the things, and you can then just...
I think all of them can do that.
Well, so I think when I found out the digital unlocking, I'm like, okay, cool. Like, I don't have to leave the dumb thing on the thing.
Yeah.
And then I saw the figures. Like
the
actual
figures
ships,
are very cool.
And I want each of those ships on my desk. They look amazing.
Then did you see the price of said ships?
No, I didn't.
The ships are like $50 each.
Ooh.
It's like, this is not a price for kids thing. This is stupid price.
Oh, okay, that's really hard. Okay, so I'm going to wait.
There is scheduled on that website.
Yeah.
They haven't revealed them all, but there is a spot for 10.
So
that's $500 of ships for collectors.
So the secret here
fucking dumb.
Is you wait until Target sells them for $15 each.
That would be nice.
That's what you do. The game I actually got pretty excited about.
The game looks really nice, and it's got sort of the Saturday morning cartoon feel to it as well. Like the way that the characters are very it's a very fun, colorful, vibrant world.
And what amazed me was there's like four or 5 worlds or something like that. Each of them looked completely different. They looked amazing, and it's open world as well. It's open world, like quests and things that go around. I'm like,
and multiplayer,
and multiplayer. So it's like this is like as poo-poo as I was on this game. As soon as they showed me the actual game, I was like, this is a James game.
It's actually weird because since you can digitally unlock things, it actually makes the entire Toys to Life stuff pointless.
Yeah.
It's like, if you don't actually need to physically change stuff, then they're not going to focus on making that a gameplay element. There's no point trading with friends or anything like that. The only reason they're making the models is they already said they did. Because when they're showing the game off, they didn't show those fucking models at all.
No.
They didn't show changing the weapons once. They seem to drop all focus on that and say, we actually made a good game.
Yeah, and the game looks phenomenal. And I guess, and then the other big reveal was Star Fox is being included. So it's kind of like, I'm not going to say a Star Fox sequel or anything, but you can definitely see that it's inspired
has some inspirations
by Star Fox. So that's a very natural fit to kind of go in there.
I've got a theory with Ubisoft. And this, I suppose, also goes into their Ubisoft madness that I was saying before, is that each year, each of their teams is just going to push something Nintendo into a product for the main reason of getting Miyamoto up on stage. And not just getting him on stage for the crowds, but mainly just... They force him. They physically make Miyamoto go, the dev team's waiting backstage to meet you. They all just want to meet Miyamoto. And they're just like, they're just strong arming you into the back. Well, we've made this ship for you now. Come back here and meet the fucking dev team, man.
He was very happy with his ship.
It looked, because so many, like, you give him the ship. So what's the first thing he does? He just pretends to fly it.
Yeah.
Magical man.
He is.
I don't know if I'd hate working for Miyamoto.
Oh, that's a tough call.
Yeah.
Because those creatives can be tricky to work with.
He certainly can have like very strong opinions that aren't
Yeah.
necessarily backed up by anything. He'll just like say a thing and then it's law.
Yeah.
But he also has like a childlike wonder to him, which could be infectious. But I kind of want to watch that from a distance.
He could also have a childlike organizational habits. Like
It could be.
you don't know how he used to actually work with. I don't know. I've never really heard much.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think everyone
I'm
would
sure
be too
you would
scared to speak ill of
learn
him.
a shitload.
Potentially.
Yeah.
Or maybe he says a lot of bullshit that everyone just takes
Oh,
as
and
wisdom.
it's actually like a Monolith situation where it's the rest of the team that just like reins him back in. Like, no, Miyamoto, you've gone too far.
Be like the valley in the woods, wild and structured. What?
What's that even mean?
It's Miyamoto. It must be good. But no, I'm sure he's a wonderful man. Okay, yeah. So Starlink being a surprise good thing at the show.
Yeah.
Okay, so other things that have been happening that are non E3.
Yes.
I played another game on Switch.
What did you play?
I played another game that I'm late to the party with, but I was waiting for the Switch version. West of Loathing.
Oh, yeah.
I think that was even cheaper. I think it was like $11.
That thing was way down. I think because I was playing it on
PC originally.
PC, yeah, but like I had it through Steam Link with the Steam controller, and it was actually a pretty good way to play it. How are you finding it?
Oh, I finished it. And I'm still going back and trying to find all the other things.
I mean, it's not far off. Like it's a visual novel. Like it's
it is. The gameplay is dumb as hell.
Yeah.
You can game that game so much. I just found a place that would constantly spawn enemies, and I drank and ate the food to make me just particularly strong against them. And then I just went, fight one spell, everyone dead. Fight spell, fight spell. I got all my XP. Now let's go safe crack and all that. Get all my abilities up to maximum, and then just glide through the rest of the game, seeing all of the funny things.
Well, it's because you're not there to.
It's not a game.
No, it's you want to hear the funny jokes.
It's a joke world, and it's funny.
There are a lot of good jokes in
What
that
I
game.
think is the weirdest thing is that there are several parts of that game which are one chance then you're fucked.
Oh.
It's like there was a pit where I could mix a potion. I'm like, it says, you don't know what you're doing. You sure you want to? I'm like, yes. And I just picked some random things, put it together, and then the machine was broken. And I like go to the wiki. It's like, how do I fix the machine? You don't. You have to play the entire fucking game. So yeah, it's black and white stick figures.
It looks like Kingdom of Loathing.
It looks like Kingdom of Loathing, although the animation is way better.
Yeah.
Oh my god, the silly walks. Did you turn on silly walks?
No, I didn't.
Silly walks are amazing. They must have just spent like I don't know how long they really spent on those animations, but they're great. It's like, you know, you'll just instead of walking, you're suddenly handstanding or slithering like a snake, or just doing Ministry of Silly Walks, or just so many creative ways of walking. It doesn't matter. It's just an animation that plays while you're moving around. It doesn't affect anything. Ye old timey mode, which makes the game slightly yellowed, which is great if you're playing it at night. Hey, this is actually the much better way of playing. So much stupid jokes in there. This old west exploration. I had a great time.
How long did it take you to finish?
I have no idea, because I'm still playing it, and I'm thinking about going back and trying a few different things with it. Apparently, you can get back to the starting area, and I want.
Oh, like the very very start.
Yeah, that you leave. Yeah,
okay.
I don't know how. I'm trying to do as much as I can without hints. It's good, and there's actually good puzzles in there too. It's mostly bullshit, and then there's just some.
Pretty
puzzles.
sure it's on phone as well.
I think so as well. I don't know if it's released. I know they're working.
I think.
But Switch is, you know, play it with the controllers, and then at one point when I was doing the fight, kill, kill, like, does it have a touchscreen? Yes, it does.
Yeah,
it's just like everything just works the way it should. You know, it's not like a high demanding game, but it just runs how you want it to run. It's very cool.
Yeah, no, it's not out, at least in the Australian store yet. But it seemed like the kind of thing that would work just fine and dandy on a mobile.
Yes. We forgot to do number 4, Downers.
Oh, okay. You gonna do yours? Or you want me to do mine?
You go first, buddy.
All right, I'll do mine. Missing Metroid Prime 4.
Yeah, I mean,
that was just because there's not much to say about it apart from it wasn't there. But yeah, like we were promised Metroid Prime this year.
Were we?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they said that 2018.
I don't think they said that.
I thought that's what they said. But anyway, it doesn't matter.
I don't. Either way, I wasn't expecting it this year.
I'm in no way not surprised to see it, but it would have just been nice given that, you know, we got some title art last time. Just a little bit.
Just you know, give us a thing.
Yeah, it was just very absent. So that was a bit disappointing.
Yes. Actually, I don't know if I even did my number five. I didn't do my number 5 downer.
No, I think you went straight to your 4.
No, I haven't done either of them.
Oh, okay.
Hey, I got to do both now. So number 5 was non-reveals.
Oh, yeah.
There were a lot this year.
Yeah.
There was, of course, Jedi Fallen Order.
Oh, which actually was on my list as well.
Yeah.
Because that was like the most non-reveal that you could non-reveal.
It could go down in history as the least reveal of all time. They went and sat in the audience with the game's director and asked him what the name was. And that was it.
That was literally it. It was a bit pathetic.
The one that annoyed me the most is because it actually ended up getting some of the biggest headlines of E3 is Elder Scrolls 6.
Yeah.
It's like,
we don't even know what region it's in.
It's like, well, once we finish our next game, which has also had a non-reveal,
yes.
But at least it confirmed it existed, so it got a little bit higher than this because we knew that Starfield was coming, but it had never been confirmed officially. So, but once we're done with this other massive project, which you'll see in 2 to 3 years, we're going to have another massive project, which obviously we're going to make one day anyway because it's our biggest selling fucking franchise, and it's the 6th one, and everyone went wild, and it was a fucking coastline with a title card. It's like, yes, this is the... You know how I pitched that Sony could just make headlines by just saying God of War Ragnarok or anything when they haven't actually started a game thing? You can acknowledge things and everything, but give them something.
See,
anything.
My kind of takeaway from that was I was glad they said something. I guess what was a bit shitty was that there was people thought it was a big deal.
What why even produce a trailer?
Yeah, well,
just say obviously we were, and then after that we will be delivering the next in the Elder Scrolls script. You didn't need any footage to go with it.
It was, to me, I was looking at here is our roadmap.
Yeah,
and as a roadmap, as someone who likes Elder Scrolls games and likes Bethesda games, I was like, oh, cool. It's just nice to know because I like playing Elder Scrolls Online. I've wondered if, because I think it's doing quite well.
Yeah.
I was wondering if that was actually just had taken the mantle of Elder Scrolls for the time being.
Well, I think it has because we're talking about this game being 10 years away.
Oh, probably, yeah.
Yeah.
Though, I don't know if you watched any of the no clip.
Minimum 6, but probably
because I don't know if you watched any of the no clip stuff. Because No Clip did some good documentaries on Bethesda recently, and they go into quite a bit of detail about the development strategy and how they work internally. And they basically have at any given time 2 projects going on. And so now, having learnt a little bit about Bethesda, it's almost like if they announce one project, you can guarantee there is another one happening at the same time. So it was some nice insight into what was going on. It was nice to know, oh, cool, it's being worked on. What it isn't is
it's not being worked on.
Well,
there's preliminary design ideas being thrown around.
They say in the documentary, it starts with a map. So I'm sure someone's drawn a map, and there's a map somewhere, and it's we might do this map.
Actually, using that from Hollow Knight. It's very interesting.
When you can find the vendor. I don't think it's particularly newsworthy, but it was nice to know. Okay, thanks. Is it Daggerfall?
Also on there, I also listed Doom Eternal. Because I was that was one that they managed to hype me very quickly because they confirmed the new Doom was happening, which wasn't something that was well known. So that was still news. I was still excited for that. And they confirmed it was on Earth. We'll show you something at QuakeCon coming out. It's if you can show something at QuakeCon, surely you can show me 2 seconds of something.
I did appreciate that one of the presenters did slip in a little Hell on Earth reference. They actually said it's something and it's Hell on Earth. Yeah, it was okay. It's a nice.
I don't understand why the subtitle is Eternal. It's a terrible subtitle.
Honestly, they should have just called it
Hell on
Earth. That's fine.
It's that is historically what the subtitle of the second game is. What it is, and it's a good name.
Yeah, Doom Eternal means
eternal or infinite or any of this bullshit.
It's an Horizon Zero Dawn title. It doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, Odyssey, all this.
Yeah, it could have been called Doom Odyssey, and that would have just as much impact.
Yeah, I think that was most of my bullshit reveals. Yeah, I think I cut a few off. And my number 4 was we finally saw the new Sonic Racing game, and it was Team Sonic Racing, and it's not the sequel anybody wanted. Yeah. It might even be okay, but it is not that game. Sonic and All Stars Racing Transformed is a beloved game by a niche community that gave it its time and realized it's an incredibly solid racing game. And this strips out all the All Stars, so it's just Sonic, which is the least popular part as far as this community is going.
I want to play the heavy.
Well, I mean, the TF2 character isn't going to be on all versions anyway. It's only on PC, but still. But, you had Football Manager. You had fucking...
wasn't there like Transport Tycoon or something like that?
Well, there was Shenmue you could play as driving the Fort truck. You had Alex Kidd. You had... Skies. Oh, could you play Skies? Anyway, but you had a bunch of such an eclectic mix, and it also meant that the courses were based on all these different franchises. So there was a huge variety. Now it's all Sonic themed.
It's all going to be Sonic levels, and
it seems to have some cues in team racing. They even say it's a little bit onrushy the way that you make the team composition works together. Like your team, if you go in your team's wake, you get more speed and stuff like that. Like it's got some good ideas. I don't really know if I want that much team racing though. Team racing's a pretty individual thing most of the time.
Well, I think I learned from Onrush that I don't want any co-op racing because I just don't think it works that well.
Yeah. I mean, like as I say, the game actually looked relatively solid still, but it's not what I wanted. And I don't think it's anyone that was interested in the franchise wanted either.
It could just be they're going after, we want to be the Mario Kart and other platforms.
Yeah,
because there isn't anything like. What else is there that's like Mario Kart and other platforms? It's nothing. So, anyway, it's going to fill that space. It's going to...
But it went from, I mean, it was literally on my list of most anticipated things at E3 to just like, whatever. Yeah. I mean, I'll give it a look when it comes out, but it doesn't have that edge to it anymore. Okay, so... I don't know. Well, at least wait before we get out of here. We'll finish till we finish our lists. Anything else you played that you want to talk about, James?
I played a little bit of Pillars of the Earth, or Ken Follett's Pillars of the Earth to get. I
think every time you say it, I have to look it up and then I forget it again instantly.
So Ken Follett, when I mentioned the title to Cheryl, she was like, not so much an eye roll, more that guy, because he's an author. He's one of those authors that is very popular, but it's like kind of like pop fantasy. So it's when you have something which is a little bit quirky that penetrates the mainstream. It's sort of like it's a book that's not alternative history. It's more historical fiction. So it's set. I don't know the exact era. I don't think it's Crusades. I think it might be around bubonic plague era, somewhere around there. And you're kind of playing a family, or actually, the father of this family, who wants to build churches. That's his thing. And so someone's come and made a game of it. It's probably closest in mechanics to something like a Telltale game or something like that.
Yeah, it looks like it looks like almost Daedalic sort of style adventure game.
Yeah. Which you don't see too much in that era. The world presentation is really nice, like gorgeous looking game. It's got a very solid opening. It's hard to talk too much about. Like, I don't want to talk about story specifics because it's an adventure game. That's what the game is.
Well, is it more story driven or is it classic puzzle driven as well?
Far more story driven.
Yeah.
So I put it on the spectrum of adventure games, from like Telltale to sort of more traditional adventure.
Telltale to good.
Telltale to good.
No, that's me.
Yeah. It's more on the Telltale side, but doesn't feel quite as like, it feels like the interactions are like a traditional adventure game where I'm walking around a character, I'm clicking on things. There's dialogue options. Like, it feels like I'm playing an adventure game like Monkey Island or something like that. But I wouldn't call the puzzles. It's like you have at any given point that you know what to do, but there may be some decision about, will I report this person or not? So it's not a puzzle as much as it is a branching story.
Yeah.
So I believe I've played through, I think, the first few chapters of it. They're basically split into 3 episodes, where each episode covers some of the chapters of the book. And I believe the overall arcing story is going to be this guy trying to restore a church, a cathedral. It's been. I think if you're interested in historical fiction, it does a good job at kind of scratching that itch. I'm not a huge fan of historical fiction. I prefer if it was like some kind of like sci-fi bent to it or something like that. It's
fucking nerd.
Yeah, it really is just like, it's going to be some historical. Actually, I say I want some sci-fi bent, but then I read the Doomsday book once. I don't know if you've heard about the Doomsday book.
No.
It's I don't know if it came before all these time traveling historian stories, but it's a time traveling historian story where a woman goes back to where the bubonic plague broke out, which is why I brought it up before, was my one point of reference. And
that's the one historical thing you know about.
And kind of follows her story. Anyway, like it's not like any fantasy elements in this thing. It is just purely historical fiction.
So
Yeah.
Speaking of impressive books,
Yes.
a child came into my office the other day.
Oh, yes.
Said, Sir, like if I had like a book that was like full of like illegal things that like could tell you how to like make like explosives and stuff, could I get in trouble? Are you talking about the Anarchist
Do
cookbook?
they have the Anarchist cookbook?
They're like, oh, it's like I'm not going to be in trouble. It's like, no, man. Everyone in the last 30 years has read the fucking Anarchist cookbook.
It's alive and kicking. That's kind of cute to know.
I'm like,
do you remember how to make thermite? I tried to make thermite out of it. It did not work.
Yeah,
we even bought ammonia. Like this is a friend of mine. We were buying the ingredients to make thermite from the Anarchist cookbook. And one of the things, like I think it's like thermite and like rust filings or something. Yeah. And I remember going around his house trying to find rusty things.
To get
like,
filings
gotta get those filings so we can make that thermite.
Yeah. I said, it's a rite of passage. So be aware that at least half of it is complete bullshit.
Yes, yeah. We did not manage to make thermite, though I had that bottle of ammonia for years.
Oh yeah, and it was delicious. I thought it was very funny. He was worried that he was going to get into trouble.
See, like I thought that thing would have like gone into the.
It'll be in the cultural zeitgeist.
It really, it does say a lot about the difference between when we were kids and now. Like I don't think when I had that book, I ever thought I'd get in trouble for it.
No.
Like, it'd be like, no one gives a shit if you have the Anarchist cookbook. Who cares?
Not.
I can understand now if you're a kid, you might be more worried about repercussions for people finding that.
Yeah. Secret terrorist cells.
Yeah.
With the Anarchist cookbook with their orange juice based napalm. Oh, it's real. It's real. Good book. Anyway, Pillars of the Earth.
Oh, yeah, Pillars of the Earth. Yeah, fine. Totally.
Ken Follett.
Totally fine adventure game.
What were you playing it on?
I was playing it on PC. Yeah, totally. If you just want an easy adventure with a good story,
I don't.
Then don't play it.
Okay. What is your number 3 thing that you're excited about from E3?
Number 3 thing I'm excited about. Let's go with. I'm looking forward to some more Rage 2.
Yes.
Yeah, so I didn't really play Rage 1 that much. I played a little bit and it was okay. I didn't care that much. Rage 2, or else I guess we'll call it Mad Max 2 Rage Edition. Retooled into Rage. Looks like they've taken the craziness of Mad Max, coupled it with a lot of color, and then the shooting of Doom. And that's kind of what it is.
See... Well, I guess take the craziness of Mad Max the movie.
Yeah.
Because the game wasn't that crazy, which is one of its faults.
And then add Color Run or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
With lots of like...
when you shoot people, you get like pink puffs of smoke and stuff.
The bit that got me excited was just seeing how the gunplay unravels.
I thought it was interesting that... So it's Avalanche id dual project. And the more I've looked into it, we all sort of assumed it was Avalanche lead and id just sort of doing some support. It seems that it's more of a collaboration than we first gave credit for.
Because Avalanche is a company I have some problems with the games they make, and part of it's I never really enjoy the moment-to-moment like combat in an Avalanche game. But when I look at the moment-to-moment combat of Rage 2, it looks amazing.
Okay, so this is just Paul being, Paul is like looking at things like he likes being a bit cynical and wondering.
No.
So everything we saw gameplay wise, I went back and watched a little bit today as well, was pretty much on foot id gunplay.
Yeah.
Which was all pretty good, pretty solid, pretty fun, some cool weapons, all that stuff. Fantastic. The only bit of driving we saw was incredibly boring.
That was the part I didn't care about.
Yes.
Yeah. And you're right. If that ends up being a large portion of the game, I might not really enjoy those portions. And
the problem with Avalanche is because it does good focused shooting area, but Avalanche's problem is that they give you good tools, they give you open world, and the driving models are normally really good. Don't get me wrong with that, but what they suck at is filling the world with interesting things to do and ways of using those tools. Their philosophy is we give you the tools, you make the fun.
Yeah,
I'm like, I need a structure to make the fun. Like, I need a little bit something there, and they have not shown anything to show that off yet.
Yeah, and that's fair.
Now, harder to do in a press conference.
Yeah, but then I guess if I look at say Far Cry 5, which big open world, I felt like that did a great job at filling it with things to make interesting things happen. If you're in a big desert, that's a bit harder to kind of do, but like not saying they can't, but I think I didn't really see anything of it. You're right, like I didn't see much.
And you need probably a longer time doing that. You need someone doing a gameplay playthrough where like I was going on this mission and I saw some smoke up on a hill and I went up there, or some cannibals eating their own legs, and then when I tried to fight them, they just regurgitated their legs back at me and they were millipede suddenly. Like holy shit, where did this come from? I never saw the millipede cannibals again. I mean, I would be down for that.
The gunplay looked very energetic. Like just watching the kind of things happening where it's lifting people up, throwing them to other things, jumping on top of people. Like it was more than just what I found really appealing was it was more than just the shooting. Like the way the player was interacting with the environment looked very satisfying. But yeah, the actual open world part, they did leave a pretty ill-defined.
So I still thought it was cool. I'm still excited, but I have caveats to that. Let's see. Okay, my number 3. A little game from a little studio in Finland, Remedy, with their new game Control. Which only had sort of a brief showing. There was some stuff shown afterwards.
Did they show much gameplay?
Yeah, they showed heaps of gameplay. Not heaps, but enough that you could sort of get the idea. So Control, I feel is, let's call it an apology for Quantum Break. Now,
they didn't have 14 hours of video in this one.
Yeah, so there's no TV show in this one, although there will probably be a TV show inside the game because that's a Remedy thing.
Yeah.
And by apology, I mean Quantum Break, as far as I'm aware, is not a bad game. Now, notice as far as I'm aware, I think I even have a copy of it somewhere.
Oh, you got Game Pass and you didn't try it.
Was it on Game Pass?
I'm pretty sure it was on Game Pass.
Anyway, I think I have it from something else.
I think I have it as well.
I might have got it from a Humble or something.
Yeah.
But I haven't played it yet because like the combat in that game and everything looks great. Everything else about that game looked drab as hell. And this game at its first impression looks a little drab as well. And that's quickly dispelled. Because it's like you're inside a building and the whole game takes in space inside this one building. You are basically the head of the FBI for paranormal issues. And you go into this space, and this space is like super sci-fi haunted. And it's the sort of thing like you walk into a room and there's just dozens of bodies just floating in the air above you. And that looks creepy until suddenly some of them are faking it and they jump down and start trying to shoot your face off, in which case you get into Remedy's gunplay mixed with basically PsyOps level like telekinesis abilities and stuff, tearing things off the wall and throwing them at people and making a shield out of rubble and stuff like that.
It looked to me more so than other Remedy things I've seen recently to be channeling more of the kind of bullet time.
I don't know about bullet time. See, it actually pulled a lot of similar stuff, I thought, to Quantum Break away, because those powers were always really cool in that game. They looked really cool, but it was just in a context I didn't really care about. This is a bit mysterious and a bit like the reason the whole game takes place in this building is that it constantly transforms and recontextualizes. So you go into a room and then all the walls will like fold away and become a different space and stuff like that. Like
reality is pretty flexible in this place.
It's a very flexible reality, which means, of course, whilst it's one location, it can be many locations they want, but it's just inside this story that you're unfolding and everything.
Even the weapons seem to be like the weapon kind of constructed itself out of bricks, and I don't know if the thing can reform.
I wasn't sure exactly, but my feeling was she had like a revolver. And I think additional bullets were just rotating around it that she could just put. And I'm not sure if I saw that right or not, but that struck me as like, that'd be a cool idea. It's like, just like you're just reloading it with your mind whilst you're firing. Like, that's funky. It just, follows a lot and seeing, because Remedy's great. Remedy is some fantastic games. But Quantum Break just seemed to not hit anything in the cultural zeitgeist.
No, because I think I got it in a bundle as well. I'm trying to think of the reason I didn't play it. I think it's a combination of, I had to use the Windows Store, I'm pretty sure. And that's always a pain. And I'm really off-put by having to watch a TV show to know what's going on. I just don't care. Like, I think this is a bad idea. It was just...
It was always a really weird pitch.
Like, I don't mind a TV show as something which is going to extend the universe if you want it. Like, that's fine. But have the idea...
You might watch Defiance.
Yeah, the idea of, like, watching... like playing a level and then going, okay, 20-minute episode. Like, no, I just want to play the video game.
I'm not even good with that at Metal Gear.
Yeah. Metal Gear will let it slide because it's Kojima.
I've still never like got into the actual game of Metal Gear Solid 3.
Oh, really?
Like I've played the game for like 3 hours,
Yeah.
but I've only ever played like 20 minutes of gameplay.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, another cutscene.
Oh, yeah, there's a lot.
Okay.
You should play Metal Gear Solid 4 one day.
Can I skip 3? Actually, I didn't even get that far into 2.
No, you can skip. You can basically skip both of them and go. You can go straight to 4. That's fine.
I can just go 1, 4?
Yeah.
Good, because I like 1.
Yeah, you like 4 is they fixed a lot of the gamey problems from 2 and 3. And also if you want to just skip past the combat, there's like basically an auto aim you can turn on. So like there are some areas where it's like I just don't want to do the fighting.
That's like me in Uncharted 4.
Yeah. It's like
you know what? I'm just gonna put on these auto aim. I don't care anymore.
There were some regions where I'm like, I just don't care about this gunplay here. I'm just gonna hold down the kill button and just run through it. It's fine.
Kill a dilly doodah. Okay, and so time for number 3, letdowns.
Number 3, letdowns.
Oh, and that was Control by Remedy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I mentioned Jedi Knight before. That was on my list.
That was on your 3?
Yeah.
My number 3, we briefly touched on before, was just Nintendo's presence at E3 entirely.
There's no Metroid Prime 4.
There's no Metroid Prime 4. There's no much anything. I mean, their biggest, most exciting reveal was, of course, Mario Party, which has James super excited. Which actually had some... So, okay, for people that actually can tolerate Mario Party, it's gone back to the original, like, everyone's moving individually on the board, because the other version made no fucking sense. It has some wacky ideas with using multiple switches. So,
because there's one where you can put them next to each other, right? And then draw a line between them with your finger?
To sort of indicate, like, so you could orientate the 2 switches for this mini game however you wanted, and then you just draw a line with your finger so the game would know where they existed in space next to each other, and then you could play on that play field. That was pretty cool.
I thought that was a cool idea. Yeah.
There's also online play, I think, in it this time. I mean, it looks like if you're into that sort of thing, and I would like to force James to play a 50 round match with me.
I'll play 10 rounds.
What if we get Ben in?
Oh, I'm there.
100%. Bring back the old crew.
Miss Ben.
Yeah. Anyway, so there's that. They showed off the new Fire Emblem, which, I mean, looked like a Fire Emblem game. It's fine. They had that, what's it? It's a thing cross machine game. It's not Deus. Left it on my thing. Damon versus cross machiner. It's mechs fighting. I don't know if they showed anything else. Then they showed Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Infinity Odyssey Eternal, which is not a port.
Is that what they said?
Yes, they've been very insistent that this is built from the ground up.
Sure.
What I find very funny about this idea that the game is built from the ground up, being their words. Then they say it has over 10,000 changes. So you know what you can't have changes in? So you think it's built from the ground up because it's all new. So you can't say that we've added new textures to this stage if it's built from the ground up. I have no... Now, it's also... like it's not a port of the other game because it is a different game, but... it's built on the old game. Don't get us fucking wrong. Yeah.
I was not surprised it was there. No. But I'm not getting too excited about it. I can see if you're someone who didn't have a Wii U, then it's great.
Which is most people.
And it's one of those things I put in the bucket of for the people that didn't buy a Wii U. Anyone's got a Wii U is like, oh yeah, I played this. This was good. And it's going to be like Mario Kart. It's like, yeah, it's good. It's Mario Kart.
It's great. Now, this is like, it is called Ultimate, and I would agree that it is the Ultimate version.
It has all the characters.
It has every single character that's ever appeared in the game. Even Snake's back, but they took away his butt.
I'm out.
He's got a flat ass now. It's fucking pathetic.
That was one of their 10,000 changes.
That was one of the 10,000 changes. It's like we took away his butt. Yeah, so it's every character ever.
Yep.
It's seemingly at the moment it's pretty much all stages as well. They haven't quite clarified that it's every stage, but it's pretty close from what they've showed so far. Like the trailer was huge, and they spent most of the direct talking about the changes. Yeah, and the changes are things that are on the whole pretty interesting to the enthusiast fan base. Things like how blocking is changed and how I think you've got a directional dash now and stuff like that. But things that are pretty minor to the casual player. Yeah. They added a couple of new characters. Most bigly of them. The most embiggened. Ridley is there.
Oh yeah, they've added Ridley in.
So that's cool, and you've got Splatoon's there as a character as well. I mean, it's got all the features. It'll probably just be missing the Miiverse world, unfortunately, because that was a cool level. But other than that, it's got the 8-player you can do again.
I'm pretty sure it's got to have the support for the GameCube adapter.
It does. That's been confirmed. So basically everything from the old version can work now.
Yeah.
That's great. It is the ultimate version of that. And basically you sort of said at the end that this is like the last Smash Brothers. That it won't be true.
Yeah. Well, when Switch 2 comes out.
Well, the thing is that what I think they mean by that is, well, I mean, the director is potentially out. He's been trying to get out for a long time, and hopefully they let him because he deserves to have a life.
Yeah.
But this game has a starting roster of 68 characters. If you are going to build a new game from the ground up, you can't support that. That's fucking insane. So I would expect the next one after this, which isn't a quick recovery, we need to turn one around quickly as fast as we can to get on the new system that's actually
this is how we're going to make money from our investment. Yeah,
I assume that's going to be a much smaller roster, and there'll be more changes to what the core game is. Hopefully, because otherwise, I just want this to be like extended DLC forever. Then, because I just don't want. I don't want the pretty much exact same game over and over again. It's like this is okay for this version. It's making up for the crimes of the past.
I want there to be at least Mario Kart level changes where,
there's more than that.
Yeah.
I think it's, and all those characters is cool. And a lot of licensing issues to go into as well.
They seem to have solved them. We've got Pac-Man and...
Yeah. So I am like, I will get the game and I will play the game, but also this wasn't what I was just expecting something from Nintendo. Nintendo just is refusing to engage with E3.
Yeah.
It's kind of annoying that they do anything at E3.
Yeah, because for a few years they weren't, were they? They were like, we're going to do our own shit.
Yeah, their own shit involved doing the online presentations, which that's what they're doing.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not a big thing in their calendar. And sort of people, they're all pointing out like, oh, we're going to reveal more stuff over the next few months. Like, yeah, but...
You could just do it now.
You don't have to show it, but E3 has a certain level in the industry. You have a certain number of eyes on you that aren't there normally. It's like, make an impression.
Yeah, like people who might not be enthusiast gamers are probably still going, oh, there's that thing where you're going to learn about the games that I might like.
Yeah. People tune into, they go, oh, well, I'm going to type video games into Google and see what the news is. And they get that's literally what Ben used to do. That's how he used to get his news. He'd type in video games and then click on the news tab.
Done.
Like, okay, that's what for these people. That's where they find out their news. And Nintendo just brought nothing.
Yeah.
They didn't even take the opportunity to detail their fucking online service, which is launching soon.
Yeah, that's not too far off now.
Yep. But they'll have their own direct like a month before it or a week before it or the day of or maybe 2 months after it launches. Who knows? It's Nintendo. They do whatever the fuck they want.
They can.
Yes, and good on them, but it doesn't stop me being a bit disappointed in them. Okay. We got time to keep talking about some other stuff. Okay, so one of the games that got revealed at the first press conference this year, EA, they revealed, and it's out now, Unravel 2.
Yes.
And Paul, being Paul, says, oh, you did one of the surprise launch games? I'm going
to buy that straight away.
Bonk. I also didn't mind Unravel.
Yeah.
So Unravel...
I was just thinking how that worked for you for Grow Home.
Well, Grow Home was fantastic.
Oh, I didn't think you liked Grow Home.
No, I love Grow Home.
Oh, okay. Wasn't there some other one which is like one of those instant releases that you bought?
I missed it before. Ode, I think it was called.
Oh, okay,
ODE. Because I was looking at something else that the team did or something yesterday. That one was bad.
Yeah.
But no, Grow Home and what's the second one called? Grow Up? Yeah, Grow Up, yeah.
Yeah.
I really like those games. But yeah, so Unravel 2, sequel to Unravel, you're your little Yarny again, but you've lost your spark. And you wash up on a new shore and you meet another little Yarny. And so now it is a co-op game where you were tethered. No, I haven't played it co-op. I've been playing it single player. You just switch between the two characters with a button. So you're constantly going back and forth. And also, if you're just needing to move around traversal-wise, you don't have to use two characters. You just run past the other character, pushing the button as you run past them, and they jump on your back. Like a little backpack.
See, what else? I didn't know how much they're entwined into you.
So after you move a bit, they like wiggle into each other and they just become one massive yarn.
I was wondering if you have any kind of existential crisis when playing this game.
No, I just love another person being inside me.
But like where does the consciousness live?
In the yarn. This is all very simple, James. So basically, Unravel is pretty much the same as the first game. Most of its highs and lows being the same. It is a above average but not great
platformer.
Because
I remember some of the complaints you had with the last one was that the physics was not tight enough to make the platforming.
I think the physics is tightened up much better now.
Yep.
The control you have over the character is just that much tighter that I don't really make mistakes with them anymore. The tether gameplay just means that there's a little bit more variety of the puzzles. It's still not super deep.
Yeah.
Played maybe, I don't know, a third to half of the game. I think it is a fun game to play with someone else, probably.
Well, that's what I was wondering. Like when I was watching the gameplay, I wasn't sure if this was a puzzle game where having a second person would add to the experience or not. Like,
I think if the other person is of reasonably adequate skill level as you,
that's it. Me personally,
yeah. I mean, I don't even know. I mean, helping someone struggle through the game might actually be kind of fun on its own.
maybe.
But
I guess does it have puzzles where two brains would help, or
it certainly has puzzles where each person has to deliberately do a thing.
okay.
So some person might be holding on the tether and letting someone down and then moving the tether or something.
Okay, yeah.
It has challenge rooms as well where the puzzle variety is pushed up a little bit more. It is a better package than the first one. It's still not brilliant, but it's charming.
Yeah.
And I have enjoyed my time with it, but I did give it up pretty quickly for Hollow Knight and West of Loathing. Because those games are charming and excellent.
They're charming and good.
And this game is just charming and pretty good.
Yeah.
It's like, okay. But, it's a fun thing to just release at a whim just at the conference. Like, hey, we've got a surprise for you and nothing else.
Yeah.
But I'm sure we'll get onto that a bit more later. So back to E3.
Oh, yeah, speaking of surprises that weren't out, I was actually... Because going back to Bethesda, they announced they've got a new mobile game coming out, which is Elder Scrolls Blades.
Yes.
Yeah. Which I'm assuming you sort of tuned out.
I think I literally left the room.
Yeah. See, like, as someone who is a mobile developer and likes Elder Scrolls, I'm like, okay, I'm kind
That's
of
all
interested
right.
in this.
I tune out when you talk about your work too.
And like it looks like a good mobile adaptation of an Elder Scrolls game. Interesting, like it's got crossplay with VR and things like that.
It's so fucking
weird.
scattershot. It's like, it's a mobile game. It's also a VR game. It's like, what? Those two?
What I liked is that they have portrait mode to play it. I always like games where you can just play it.
Also known as jerk-off mode.
Yeah, in jerk-off mode, you can sit there. But I was really hoping it'd be like, and surprises out, because that's what they did with Fallout Shelter.
Yes.
And I was like, oh, come on. Like, it looked cool. Like, yeah, I'll play this thing. I'm sure it's a fun little thing to play while pooping. And no, it's like, no, it'll be out sometime. They said, you can pre-order it today. And like, it's one of those mobile pre-orders.
Yeah, I don't understand that. I never noticed it on the Google Play Store before. I don't open it very often. I went there yesterday. I'm like, there's a whole section for pre-ordering free games. Yeah. What the fuck is going on?
All it means is notify me when it's out.
Yeah.
That's all it means. But for some reason, they lean on pre-order as a concept. It's weird.
So.
It's like...
It's not so bananas, that's what I say. But James, they did do just like Fallout Shelter, because they did Fallout Shelter again. It's on the Switch and it's out now.
Yeah, it is. That was the one they did do. You could actually just go grab... Fallout Shelter, yeah, you're right.
They just released it
the same. Unfortunately, it was the same game again, and probably not the best platform to play it on anyway.
Why not?
Because just play it on your phone.
Why would I play it on my phone?
Because it works better as a touch game, and you have your phone on you all the time, and it's a idle game where you want to pick it up and put it down every now and then.
Yeah, but it doesn't multitask well. Like, what's a reload when you open the game? Fuck that.
Okay, load's not that bad.
It's fucking. Anything more than like 3 seconds is too long for me.
I got it on the Switch, and I just thought, this is not the optimal platform to play it on
the Switch.
Yeah.
Also, it's touch on. It must be touch on the Switch.
Oh yeah, no, it is, but it's more like it's a mobile game, which is meant to be a game of convenience, and I don't have my Switch on me at all times, even though my Switch is over there right now. Yeah, so if I wanted to play Fallout Shelter, I could right now on my Switch.
Oh, my dogs ate my Switch power adapter.
No.
It's weird. They don't chew up stuff. And then I just come out the other day. Like, I think
they got a taste for Nintendo.
It was because I was sick and I was playing Hollow Knight all day instead of playing with them. And I think they got jealous of it. And like, we had it plugged into this cable of doom. So I guess we'll tear that up. So I'm glad they weren't electrocuted. But it was having trouble charging off many of my other power adapters. So it's actually charging off a power bank.
Oh, really? I noticed that when I came in.
Lisa's like, is this how you charge it now? I'm like, it's not going to buy a new adapter.
Now.
I can't use the dock at all.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yes. My number 2. Or, was that your number 2 or was just a thing?
It was just a thing. Yeah.
Well, you do your number 2 then.
Oh, okay. So this is number 2, good things, right?
Because you're good things.
Oh, okay. I'm going to say Horizon. Yeah, I was right. Forza Horizon 4.
Yes. Although, no, you talk about it. I have one thing that disappointed me greatly about it.
Oh, okay. Well, it's more Forza Horizon, except this time it's in England. But one of the cool things, well, apart from just looking amazing,
very pretty,
like
very
all
pretty.
Forza games do, and like even though I'm traditionally not much of a racing game guy, when it comes to open world arcadey races where I can just drive around and do random challenges in a really chill out zen kind of way, I do fucking love it. I have a lot of fun with it. But this time it's set in England, and they have a 4 seasons system in there, which I think is 2 seasons too many.
No, because
no, it's fine. Like, I don't mind them having like all 4 seasons, but there's only one season that's making a gameplay difference to what's going on.
Well, no, one of the things that's pointed out, because we don't have snow, so we don't
Yeah.
think about seasons like this, is that once the snow melts, that means the ground is very wet.
Oh, so it's more muddy kind of thing.
There's more muddy, there's more showers, and stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because one of the things I thought was really cool was they have like this big lake, and in the winter the lake freezes over, so now you can do like a bunch of racing on the lake. I just thought it was a really cool way to have this environment and just retool it in different ways.
What really excited me about this demo was as it was going, we're talking and we're like, shit, did the world just freeze over? Look, it just swept over the world. It looked fucking fantastic. And then the question came out post the show. How often do the seasons change? Do they change? Can they change mid-race? Is this like a fantastic... No, they change 1 a week. So this week is winter, next week is spring, next week is summer, next week is autumn, then it's back to winter.
Oh, no, that sucks.
Yeah.
I hope they have an option just to not.
I don't think so. I think because it's an online experience.
Yeah, but I don't want to always play in the snow.
For a week.
It's a very different experience.
And then you got to wait 3 more weeks until you can play in the snow again.
No, that seems like a dumb idea. They shouldn't do that.
Yeah, I thought even if you're going to do it... Like, I'm not totally against them doing a cycle thing, because I think sometimes taking away play control works, like Splatoon. Splatoon, I didn't mind the whole, like, you play... It cycles these 2 maps for an hour, and then it goes to 2 other maps, stuff like that. Yeah. But that's still, like, variety within a day. If it was, like 8 hours per season...
Actually, no, that'd be fine. If it was
it's
like
3 per day and it cycles through,
like
and it's different one at different times of day.
Roughly, I want it per play session. I'm okay. Like, ideally, I can no, I don't really, because maybe I don't like snow.
Yeah.
So it's like I don't want to play that. The idea of being locked out of it for a week is real excessive.
What if you only like winter?
And then you're locked out of it for 3 weeks. I don't know.
It's very much games of service thing. It's like they have. Even like when it gets back to winter, it won't be the same winter. They'll have different challenges and stuff in there. So they're actively doing stuff. I see it as a thing, but I just thought that was a bit...
Yeah, because I'm trying to think like... One of the things I like in Destiny 2 is when they have, this week we're going to run an event.
Yes.
And it's like, okay, over the week, here are your challenges. We're going to be doing, it could be a multiplayer focusing or a PvE focusing. But anyway, what doesn't matter? Here is a bunch of challenges. If you can do all these things, you'll get some unique gear.
Yeah.
And like, okay, cool. Like that's a reason to kind of like be engaged over the week and play with friends and stuff like that. If they had something like that, where it's like, okay, this week we have, like a new set of challenges and maybe there's some unlocks or something that you can get off that might be okay. Because then it's like, this week I'm going to do this and this and this. You almost like plan it out, like what you want to do. Maybe they're going to go to that level. I don't know. We'll see, I guess.
Yeah, we will.
Yeah,
we will. I wasn't as excited when I heard that news.
Yeah,
it doesn't mean bad, but it's
Yeah.
not what I mean, I know it's not the kind of game that it actually would be, but if there was literally like every 10 minutes the season changes and there's a countdown and like you could be racing along and it just goes like, now it's winter. I want that game.
I really hope there's at least
it's too fantasy for them, but yeah.
Because I understand if you're going to play in a open world and you're going to matchmake people in, that there needs to be some consistency between them. I understand that. But that's still not hard to just say, I want a summer game and it matches you up with someone who wants a summer game.
Yeah.
Like it's
you
like...
could have four
you can have, there can be multiple servers. It's okay. Most games will do that.
I'm going to expect that they already have multiple servers.
I expect there's about 16 people per server and I should be able to say, I want to play summer, please.
Yeah.
And maybe there's a voting system or something. I don't know. But yeah, that given how different experience you can have in a driving game simply by making it all slippery.
Yeah.
And I might get frustrated and not want to play it. It means that I might just be like, yeah, I don't want to play this week.
Yeah. But still, such a pretty game.
Oh, it looks amazing. It looks phenomenal.
And the social aspects look really good too. So my number 2, jumping way up from its disappointment last year, is Beyond Good and Evil 2. So still no real gameplay of it. I mean, there's some little bits, but it's so early. It's like, this is a joke to show. All it does is show that an engine exists that you can load models into. Yes, I understand that. So they had a CGI trailer, which I think probably hit the tone a bit better. A lot of people were turned off by the first one with just the amount of swearing and stuff in it. This is more piratey fun. Ends with that's a very impressive giant ship come down. It's the Doms there, and then PJ is the pig, the Uncle PJ from the first game is there. He's working on the ship as the cook, and then at the end, walking out of the Dom ship is a young Jade, who in the lore is at this point known as Shawnee. But PJ just is it PJ or Paige? I don't remember. I should know. I'm a big fan.
You're the you're the Beyond Good and Evil guy.
I am, but and he just sees her and says Jade, which is kind of weird. Like why he would know by that name at this point of the story and everything. Why they would have a pre-existing relationship. So mystery, intrigue, what's going on? So finally we got some story thing to please the fans that were annoyed. Still we want to see where the story goes because I always hate going back. But at least there's stuff we don't know now. And it's like, okay, there's a hook. So at that point I'm like, okay, I'm interested in the game again. I still can't say this is going to be a great game because I still don't know exactly what it is. And this next bit of news doesn't really change that either. But then came out on stage that they were partnering with Hit Record. Which I suppose you could say is a hit record or hit record. It works both ways. Which is a community collaboration portal that previously has sort of worked in music and short film and stuff like that. Joseph Gordon-Levitt's company. Okay. And man, you look nodding at me as if you don't know what this is. You know what this is, James, or did you forget?
I forgot.
Oh, okay.
Let's keep going.
So they are crowdsourcing assets for Beyond Good and Evil 2. There has been some kickback about this being spec work, but I don't agree. I personally don't agree with that because this is basically we want a bunch of propaganda posters to put around the world. If you want to draw some art and it's accepted into the program, we'll put you in the game. And this is the bit that seems to anger people, actually. We'll pay you for the work. Because then it becomes spec work. It's like, well, what if you submit and you don't get paid and all that? Because I don't think the point is getting paid. I think they're paying you as the part to make it legal. It's like, we paid the people for their contributions. It's not really why you would do it. But like what they've got up now, they've got sort of poster art, some mural designs, doing radio stings for the pirate radio. And I was just thinking about just making a whole bunch of fake bands. It's like, this is Johnny from the Sun Pixels and fuck the establishment. You listen to Tiger Radio. Just chuck any shit up there and it just be like none of the stuff they put up so far is hard for their team to make. And that's the thing. It's like
they just want the volume of content.
They want volume of content because this game is at least at some level procedurally generated. So there's parts of these world that are just untouched. The main areas are still hand designed, which I was happy to hear. But you can just go down to areas of the city that are just generated, and they want lots of different content.
That's actually I think a really cool way to handle it.
I think it also gets around a problem of games that are making real worlds. That you have an art style, and then everything in that world is that same art style. While things like posters and music and art and everything that are in a world aren't all the same.
They can be varied.
Anything. It can be very varied. And as long as it's all in theme of the world, that's cool. And it gives the community a sense of ownership, which I think they're really trying to push with the game. And it's at a level of contribution that I'm thinking about contributing some things.
Because I think Trove, I don't know if you played that. It's like a bit Minecrafty MMO.
Oh yeah, I know. I haven't played it,
but it's a very kind of voxel art. And that's kind of basically what they did with their gear. They just went, "Hey, community, go install whatever voxel editor. There's a bunch of them out there, and you submit shit, and we'll get it in the game if we approve it." And it does mean that like when you get random drops in that game, they can really be whatever because it's just like there's a phenomenal amount of stuff people have submitted, and it'll get tell you like the name of the person who's made it. And you're like, cool. Like someone's made this. They made butterfly mittens, or like I've got like a ladybird backpack. Whatever, it doesn't matter. But it's insect things. They're in my head. But
insects, they're in your head.
Yeah, insects.
Burrowing through your skull as we
now.
speak.
Yeah. Actually, one's taking control of James.
Yeah. I just think it's fun. And I think it was also, as soon as they were talking about it, like, this is a minefield of copyright. This is just like, holy shit.
They got to be careful.
But the thing is, that's why it's an entire other company that's doing the community collaboration stuff.
Yeah.
Because that's literally what they do.
Yeah.
If someone submits a stem track for a piece of music and that has samples from a non-copyright, like, it is their responsibility to check that stuff and make sure everything's signed off correctly and everything. It is not the dev team who is busy making the game.
Yeah.
At the
That's a smart move. Yeah.
I think it's cool. I don't know how well it will work.
Yeah. It seems like a win-win for everyone.
Yeah.
Like, it's so, yeah.
Yeah. And the thing is, while I'm saying I'm going to submit a few things, I think, at no point am I thinking about making any money off it. I assume it'll be like, well, actually, God, I just
Can they just give you a copy of the game?
Give me a copy of the fucking game.
If you're really eager, have a copy.
I assume they'll probably do that anyway.
Even like, you want 20% off?
Give me better than 20.
15? 30?
Yeah, why not? And the thing is, giving me a game actually probably is better than paying people all over the world. That's probably also a weird legal
then you got all the
minefield and everything.
We're just sending you key.
It's like, oh, we're donating $50 into people's random people's PayPal accounts all over the world.
Yeah.
That's going to draw some fucking IRA eyebrows. They must have to run it out of a tax haven or something. I'd be interested to, like, not interested enough to go to school for it, but interested enough to hear someone try to break it down how they can legally do all that. I mean, it's like the fig thing. I mean...
Oh, you can actually buy into it.
Yeah, I mean, and that was a huge amount of legal work to do, and you got to be accredited and do all that. You know, if you're just getting thousands of random employees submitting things, like, man, that's got to be...
Yeah.
Lots of different laws in different countries about employment, that's for sure. Anyway, maybe they just say you're a contractor, it's all your responsibilities to pay the taxes on that $20 they send you. Goodness gracious. Okay, so number 2, letdown.
Number 2, letdown.
I realize by doing it this thing, we're going to end on a letdown instead of a good thing. Maybe we'll switch it around for number 1.
All of Fortnite Sony bullshit.
What was Sony's? Did I tune out?
You know how like...
Oh, that bullshit.
Yeah, because this one got me.
Which isn't really E3, but it happened during E3.
No, because it happened because it was on Switch. They're like, oh, hey, you can go get Fortnite now on your Switch.
And you could not fucking wait. You were like 4:30 a.m. I'm downloading Fortnite.
I think I just woke up stupid early.
I was like, you fucking loser.
Because I didn't even like Fortnite. And it made me mad. So it's like, okay, Fortnite and Switch. I'll give this a go. I've got a Fortnite account. So you download it and you install it. Mm-hmm. And then you go, hey, you want to link your account to like log in with thing to your Switch? And you do that. It's like, oh, I'm sorry. You've logged into a PS4 at some time? Nah.
So I may need to clarify you here, James. You said log into your Fortnite account.
Epic account, sorry.
Yes, your Epic account, which also means that if you bothered to play Paragon on your PS4, you also can be locked out of Fortnite on your Switch.
And you then go log into the Epic account and say, can I please unlink? And it goes, nope, no, you can unlink. And then says very clearly, if you unlink, you still cannot relink it to another service.
Yeah.
So basically, no one knew this. But by signing in ever into your Epic account and linking it to your PSN account, you have locked yourself out of crossplay. Which is, even though I don't, it's more the principle of the thing.
Like you can just go make another account.
I can, but But
you have an account.
I have an account, and I'm also I have a Twitch Prime subscription from having an Amazon subscription. And that has unlocked things on my account. It's like, well, I've paid money, even though I don't play the game that much. I have paid money for stuff.
Sorry to interrupt you, but I've been missing Callum's contributions to this conversation on the chat. He just pointed out that it's super cunty.
Yeah, no, that's a good way to describe it.
Sony did respond.
Yes,
and they put out a press release saying, "Look, we're very happy that millions of people can enjoy playing Fortnite on the PS4. Good night."
Yeah.
Drop the mic.
Oh, yeah.
They didn't address it at all.
No. And the interesting thing is that this has been a problem for a while. Like, this is already happening for Microsoft accounts.
Yeah.
It just so happened that majority of people that own a PS4 don't have an Xbox One. But the Switch sits in a different space.
Yes. The Switch is that side console.
Yeah, and a lot of people do have a PS4 and they have a Switch.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I'm wondering if there's going to be any legal action or something out of this, like because
I can't imagine legal action can come
because
from it as such. Certainly negative community feedback.
Yeah, well, because there was no warning that this would happen. Like there was no... If I'd gone to attach... And I'd say this is even from Epic's perspective. Like if I go to sign into an account, it should be in big letters saying, by doing this, you are permanently linking your account to this platform.
Yeah.
And you will not be able to link it with any other platform. And I would have gone, no.
I would also like to know technically... why from Epic's side you can't unlink and then link to something else.
My guess is that it's not a technical problem. There are probably some contracts signed with money that's to buy, like I expect it's something to do where, like, if you buy something through the PS Store and it's attached to your account, there's some kind of legally binding thing. That's my guess.
Yeah,
I technically, I don't think it's a problem at all. It's just unlinking a field in a database. But there must be some other... Who knows what kind of contract they signed with Sony about this? I don't know. So, yeah.
Okay. I think that is time. Oh, well, I played Fortnite on the Switch.
Yeah.
Played one round.
And
I got 8th. My team got 8th. I didn't realize I was in a team.
You didn't get your chicken dinner?
I did not. I did not know what I was doing.
Yeah.
I saw a person and tried to build a wall, but I didn't push the right button.
Did you not understand why the kids like it?
I get why the kids like it.
I don't.
I
find it real boring.
Yeah, I do find it pretty boring. But then I only played one game. I can't really assess it from that. I did see some cool stuff. I liked what I didn't realize before was that when you build... if you sever the connection to where they're building, everything past that point disappears. I'm like, oh, that's cool. That's cool. Because I saw some people like building a highway across the sky.
And you're like,
and then
none
just
of
someone
that.
just shuts it down and then just falls to their death. Like, oh, that's pretty funny.
Yeah.
I get that. That is good. But otherwise, we both did play another Battlegrounds game.
Oh, we did.
We both played Totally Accurate Battlegrounds.
I tried to play it.
Oh, so it's on your list, but you never actually got in?
Oh, I played the game.
Oh, good.
I just did not see any other players.
What?
No, so I jumped in and I just couldn't get into a game. So I ran around a map with no one in it.
So you got into a game, but no one else was in the game?
Yeah, it was like it's an empty map.
Oh, it worked great for me.
Yeah, no, I had no luck with it.
I love... So this is Landfall, who did like Cluster Truck and...
and it's totally accurate
battle simulator
yeah.
And Human Fall Flat. So I'm quite a fan of their games. And they obviously threw it together as a joke, and then like, we could make some money off this joke.
Yeah, which I'm pretty sure they have.
Yeah, originally they released it for the first 100 hours free, and then it gave a $5 game, I think. It is buggy, but so is PUBG and everything, so that's fine.
It says everything of why I get so shitty about Battle Royale games, because it is such a, I'm going to call lazy game mode. That anyone can literally throw it together in a day. Like I remember when,
which they pretty much did,
which they did. Like I remember even Path of Exile when they did it. They were like, I think in their video they said like, we literally did this in an afternoon. Yeah. They made like a battle royale mode. Like it's not. It's why like I don't get upset when PUBG start whining and moaning about. Oh my dear, it's so epic.
Quick aside to that, I really enjoyed. There was a whole like rant about how people shouldn't call PUBG an asset flip. It's not an asset flip. All we do is get assets from the Unreal store and we put them in the game, but we make other assets. It's like, well, no one said you got everything from here. The fact that you just pick up like entire map sections, just plonk them in. That is why people consider you a bit of an asset flip.
Like, I'm not going to say that there's not innovation in what is PUBG, but clearly they're not. There isn't enough creativity in that team that they could have stayed ahead of the curve. It's like they all had this fantastic opportunity to be, we are the leaders in this genre, because they were the first one to popularize it. And they had massive funds and a massive amount of time to do it as well. And clearly that team
was gearing up to sue Epic.
Like, didn't do that. Like and so Epic's come in and stolen the thunder. Like, oh well, maybe.
Well, even there's a Cuisine Royale that came out. I didn't grab. I should have grabbed it. It was free for the first 100 hours again. And that game, I can't remember what the game it's based on is. They did whack it together quickly again. It was again another April Fool's joke that said, "Well, let's do it for real.
Yeah, let's do it anyway. Yeah,
why not?" But what I hear from that is that it runs really well and has really solid netcode. Yeah. Other than that, it's weird. It's called Cuisine Royale, so you expect it to be wacky. Other than the fact that you strap pans to your body as armor. It's a pretty standard.
Yeah.
Although apparently the more armor you have, the more you clang as you run around. So that was pretty cool.
Okay.
I thought that was a fun game.
Oh, actually, I played a little bit of Realm Royale, which is the
Paladins.
Yeah, the Paladins Royale. Because they were doing Paladins Royale, Battle Royale, and I guess that got kind of binned. And they're doing this instead, Realm Royale. I had more fun in that than I had Fortnite. And I think it's because it gave me more maybe silly mobility things. So I had a big jump. So it was really easy to get around because I had my character had a big jump and it got around.
Yeah, I didn't really like the movement in Fortnite very much.
Yeah. This one, I didn't feel here's big portions of the map I have to run and I'm probably going to get shot when running. But it wasn't quite as fantasy as Paladins, but it was definitely in that vein.
But you know what game has excellent movement? Totally accurate. So turn it back around.
Yeah.
So I had a fantastic story. I launched myself off the truck flying through the sky because they just use the existing models from Cluster Truck because why not? And I go boom across the map and go, okay, I've stopped. There's a little shack in front of me. I bet there's something in there. Run it. Yeah. Floating 2 meters off the ground next to the shack was some items. So it's okay, I'll just grab these out of the air, I guess.
Yep.
And I ran towards a little group of ruins.
Yep.
And I had a big fuck-off sword. And I started climbing all over the ruins, which was quite fun to do because it's all physicsy, as their games all are. Finding here's a gun or whatever. And then there's a guy down below me. I'm like, got a sword. So I drop down and I stab him in the back. I'm the master of Battlegrounds. Look, I've got a kill. I am the best player ever. And then some guy started shooting me from a distance.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, I got this. Because there's pillars everywhere. It's all ruins. So I'm sneaking up. I pulled out a gun because I'm like, well, I mean, I want to be able to defend myself if they're still at medium range. So I'm sneaking, jumping, going through there. It's okay, I jump up behind him and I go, pull out my sword. What button is that? Fuck. Where's the button? Where's my sword gone? What the fuck? And then the guy turns around and shoots me in the face. I'm like, should have shot him. Should have shot him with my fucking gun. That was, and it was I think it just glitched out of my sword disappeared. But funny.
Yeah.
And the thing is, because it has their sort of very polygonal art style, it's super readable and very friendly and approachable.
What I liked was when you hit the ground, there's no parachute or anything.
No.
You just hit the ground at full impact.
It just physics. It's this is great. This is the best free I've bought in ages. Yeah. I might even play more rounds of it.
Yeah, I actually might play more Realm Royale actually. If you want to give that one another look.
Oh, and that was the other thing. I'm very happy we haven't been doing it. We did it a bit during the commentaries for the press conferences because we were tired. But man, fucking over Battle Royale jokes.
Oh yeah, actually, I think
it's every time there's a new game, and we did it. We were guilty of it ourselves. Just is this going to be Battle Royale? It's not funny anymore. It's done.
Actually, I think when we were doing it, I started being mindful of: have I been making too many Battle Royale?
Have we been
jokes?
going back to this well too much?
I think we have. And
that was the
funny. But the sad thing was, we were right a lot of the time.
Your number one about good things isn't about the death of a joke, is it?
No.
Good, because one of my honorable mentions is, of course, the joke about Skyrim on everything is officially dead because now Bethesda has made it.
Oh, yeah.
It's done. You can't make it anymore. If you make it, you're just a fucking hack.
Yeah, they put it on
Alexa.
Alexa, yeah.
And it's legit on there.
Legitimately on there, yeah.
I still don't want to play it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, it's on everything. Got it. Great. Very funny. Yeah. Moving on, Todd.
Yeah.
Moving on. I need to hear about some mobile games.
Man, people love Todd. He's a lovable fellow.
I for some reason I'd lost the memory of his face in my head. So when he came out again, I'm like, this guy looks too fucking cool to be Todd.
No, he's Todd. Everyone wants Todd to be their dad.
You look a bit like Han Solo in that jacket. But with wilder hair. Ooh, scrummy. You're a scrummy man, Tom.
Todd. Scruffy there,
I called him Tom. He's Tom from Facebook. He is a yummy man. So many friends. Okay. So we're talking about totally accurate Battlegrounds. That was a thing. Bloopity bloop. Hey, I played that new Octopath Traveler demo.
Oh, see, I decided I'm going to wait.
I need to go back and play the original demo because this thing shit me off. I did not get far into it at all.
Oh, really?
Was there voice acting in the original one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't remember it. The only thing that I found was that the dialogue takes fucking forever.
Because I remember, I think I died in one boss fight in the last demo and I had to reset through. all the dialogue.
All the dialogue has like between each like speech bubble has like at least a 3-second gap before the next speech bubble comes up, and it's like I can read. I'm not doing anything. This game is. And I actually never got far into it. Basically, you start the game, you got 3 hours to play.
Yeah,
a few things are locked off, and then it carries on in the final
I think
game.
you can play up to the end of the first chapter for up to 3 hours for any character.
Yeah.
That's what they got. Yeah, I just sort of thought like, well, I plan to get it. I actually don't want to play it with time pressure.
Yeah.
So I just thought, I'll wait.
Yeah. I mean, it actually made me not want it. I played one of the other characters, not the dancer, who was the one good story.
The dancer was the most solid story in the last
The other
one.
ones are just like, this is more typical RPG than I expected.
I'm still not totally sure what the structure of this game's going to be.
No, not overall.
I kind of wanted it to be pick 3 characters and then it'll kind of interweave some story. But from them showing like play any of the 3, I expect it's going to be no, play every character.
Any of the 8.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I don't know. I guess we'll see. Like, how will this come together?
Yeah.
You know, like, maybe it'll be more traditional party system. I don't know. I don't want it to be like 8 short stories that don't really that feel clunky when they go together. So.
Okay. So, let's go with our shitties.
So you're going to do the number.
Our shitty Ds, number 1s.
Number 1 shitties.
So let's go. Let you go first.
So this one I feel a little bad about saying because I know people who work on it.
Oh my god!
Yeah. But the number 1 shitty thing I had was Command and Conquer Rivals.
Oh god! Anyone working on that's not offended by you saying that. Well, look. We can just tie that into mine, which was just EA.
Yeah. So I'll just start with CNC Rivals.
Yeah.
Look, as a mobile game, it looked fine. It was a totally serviceable mobile game. As something leaning
Clash of
on.
Clans.
It was something leaning on the CNC license. It was not a good fit. I would say it's even worse than in terms of a thematic fit than Dungeon Keeper, because at least Dungeon Keeper had a dungeon and they got the original narrator back and it had Horny. Like you'd look at it and go, okay, this looks a little bit like Dungeon Keeper.
I don't know if I can forgive these comments being
No, I'm saying like from an art perspective.
Okay.
That's all I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
It did look like Dungeon Keeper.
It looked like Dungeon Keeper. It was a wolf in sheep clothing. Whereas CNC Rivals, which is, it's not Clash of Clans because it is doing some things with like, there's 3 nodes to hold and you send out units to take them and there's Tiberian being collected. Like there's a few things going on. They haven't actually just gone and ripped off another game. Like they've made something new, but the Nod stuff looks a little bit like Nod, and the GDI stuff looks nothing like GDI, and they have a Kane likeness that looks nothing like Kane. Yeah, like it was just a weird thing. Like it's like anyone that's gonna let that license will work on will look at it and just go, but that's not.
But what about that
CNC.
exciting live gameplay? Watching someone tap a phone.
Oh yeah, and then they set up like an esport.
Yeah.
And like they're really trying to sell it as like this. Oh, we're gonna do our phone esports, and we got these 2 players to come in, and you could tell from the people playing it, like they honestly did not think they were doing anything special.
The crowd, I heard chanting, "Nobody cares."
Oh, did you?
No, I made that up.
Because it wouldn't like that'd be a bit mean.
Nobody cares.
But it was really awkward, and it was. It's like like the Devolver conference. How like they have the stock footage they put into the audience reactions.
Yeah.
And one of my favorite stock reactions is like the executives who are so happy about the announcement. Like that's what I saw. There was like some old white guys in suits that were looking at this mobile game and just seeing the piles of money.
Mobile money. Mobile. That's what money is.
And so happy. Oh. Like it was this. This is the part which is for the investors.
Yes.
This is what is happening right now.
You know how our last 3 CNC projects didn't get off the ground. Well, this one is cheap and will make lots of money.
Yeah. And I think if you're going to do E3, having the E3 part of your press conference, which is obviously about the investors, just feels real shitty.
It's not an investor show.
No,
I mean, it is
not.
a trade show, but it's not.
But E3 is far more consumer focused than it is investor focused.
Yes.
And so
that's what investor meetings are for. Okay. So that makes me number 1 with my EA one. So EA was just generally pretty shitty, other than just like the sudden of Unravel. They started off, and we get to make at least a Battlegrounds joke to a degree here. It took 6 minutes for them to announce the first Battlegrounds mode of the show. But weirdly, not too many followed. It was like they were setting the trend that did not happen.
Yeah.
So Battlefield 5. And Battlefield 5 will have no DLC and no loot boxes. By the way, if you pre-order it, you do get a bunch of premium airdrops. I'm like, what the fuck? You know what this is? You just called it a different thing, hey? But no, apparently, no, it's not loot boxes. They're just cosmetics that you can... something. I don't know. I don't even know how they were trying to say it wasn't loot boxes. But, I mean, Battlefield 5 looks cool. It had
snow sliding off a roof.
Yeah. That was actually really good.
They actually did look,
They showed a lot of the the deformable terrain, which is great, more Bad Company 2-ish.
I made fun of their trailer system, but they're legit, like, you actually can have pickup placements. I actually thought it was kind of cool. So, like one vehicle can hook onto a placement and you can move the placement.
Drag that else.
That's kind of cool.
You can like... One of the things especially in Bad Company 2 was, like, say if there was a control point in, like, the middle of some buildings.
Yeah.
By the end of the match, that area was a desolate wasteland and just a no man's land. In this, you can reconstruct. So you can say, look, we're just going to put up a bunch of sandbags here and a wall here and everything. So there is some cover if we need to try and protect this point. So it's good. I like those changes. Single player, I still don't really know much about it. It's all pretty much cinematic-y in the change. Like, it looks fine. And then the rest of the conference happened. There were some sports.
Yeah.
Then they're like, time for Anthem. Have we got everyone got your Anthem questions? Like, we had that big playthrough last year. I know you've got the gist of it. So now it's time to find out less than we showed you last year in a really awkward format.
Yeah, with they bring up the tweets. And they were answering tweets that be like from the carefully selected tweets.
Yeah. Here's an idea. Explain what the game is.
Yeah.
How it will...
because like they said, though, again, there won't be loot boxes.
There won't be loot boxes.
But cosmetics. So they said that
there won't be romance.
Yeah, no romance.
Which is a funny thing they have to bring up because I really didn't think about the story being that kind of thing. But they really... BioWare's fan base, you do need to specify that. And it's sort of like who's this game going to be for at the end of the day?
I'm going to call it. I don't think it's going to do so well.
I think
it'll sell a bunch of copies, but I don't think it's going to be a Mass Effect. I don't even know if it's going to be a Destiny, which I think is kind of what they're going for. I don't think, from what I've seen of the world, it's strong enough for me to be that interested in wanting to explore it. Like the world, I haven't seen it make me that interested about it. Like that was, and even like from the cosmetic stuff, like they're like, oh, we're going to show you can look different. And the main thing they were showing is like different shaders on the thing. And like as someone who likes looter shooters, I'm like, yeah, but I want to look really different. Like, where's my crazy gear? Like, I don't know if they're going to do crazy gear. So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm sure I'm going to get EA Access Premium and give it a go.
EA Access Premium was so confusing. I still went back yesterday. I'm like, just like, what is the difference between EA Access and EA Access Premium?
Premiere, sorry, not Premium.
Yeah, Premiere. Well, it seems to be that you get just access to all the new games.
Yeah,
now.
so it's like an extra tier.
Yeah.
So it's...
Well, you already did, but you only got 10-hour trials before now.
Yeah, so it's things like, if you get Premiere, you will get, say, Battlefield 1 plus all the DLC. So it's really the get everything.
Here's the question.
Yeah.
So if you got Premiere, so you got Premiere, so that means you get Battlefield 5 for free now. But do you get to start playing the Friday before it launches, like the people that pre-ordered it?
I think so.
Or is that still another cost?
No,
on top?
I think you do. I think that you also get to get in 5 days early. Yeah.
That's one of the fucking most bullshit things EA's ever done. Pay $20 more and play 5 days early. And I'm like, who would do that? And then I look at hundreds of thousands of people.
Oh, no, I'm actually liking this game subscription thing we're getting with Game Pass and all this stuff.
Game Pass was really impressive this year. It seems, if I had an Xbox and I didn't already have a huge library of most of the stuff anyway, it is hard to not see the value in that.
Yeah. What I'm really liking about this is that I'm sure that if you look at, say, the attachment rate for games, say PS4, or EA, say Origin attachment rates, right? It's probably quite low. Like attachment rates for things tend to be like in the order of 1 a year. Because the vast majority of people who play games will buy a game a year. Like, we are the oddity. We are not representative of the gaming as a whole.
Well, I've only got 20 games on my list in the last 2 weeks.
So with that in mind, if you can say from EA's perspective, we're going to offer a service which costs approximately 2 games a year, which is about what premium costs. Yeah. Premiere costs. So I'm going to keep calling it premium. For the average user, you're actually kind of getting ripped off because you're only going to buy one game a year anyway.
Yeah, and you maybe get another one, but it's like a discounted a bit.
Yeah. But for me, it's fantastic.
Get all the things.
Well, it's almost like the core gaming audience. Sorry, I'm gonna say hardcore gaming audience.
Ooh.
Yeah, I know. I
went there.
I kind of feel bad rolling that one out.
Sister.
Yeah. No, enthusiast gamers. The enthusiast gamers win big in this new. The hardcore enthusiasts win big in this new deal, because if I can drop, I think it's like about 150 Australian dollars for Premiere, and in that I just get access to every EA game that comes out. That's a pretty sweet deal for me, and then it's going to include all the DLC and playing it early and that kind of stuff.
So, what I kind of like, so I'm less on Premiere, but more on Game Pass. What I kind of want to come out of here is sort of changing that culture that we were just talking about, where most people only buy one game a year, partly because they don't know if again, like they know that their COD is good, they know that their Madden is good, and they get the next one. And there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, sometimes we might give people a little bit of shit, but not really. It's just.
But that is just the bulk of the audience.
But when it becomes like, oh no, I just do Game Pass and it comes free each year, even though you're paying for it. Hey, look, there's all these other games I can play.
Yeah.
Maybe it starts making smaller games a bit bigger. People get more eyeballs on them. More people can try them out.
What I'm getting excited about is, because I genuinely think this is an amazing thing for game to happen. Because I look at Netflix.
Yes.
And Netflix, you have things like Fuller House being made, right? But things like Fuller House, no one in their right mind makes Fuller House.
Yeah.
But because it's a subscription service, you're giving a lot of like creative freedom to people, because people are subscribed, that they're going to stay subscribed.
Yeah.
And so we might actually start seeing things like large scale, like EA could go, we just want to do some batshit crazy thing.
Yeah.
Because we have subscribers now.
Yes.
So I think it's potentially...
We have room in the budget here.
Yeah. I think it's potentially really good.
And the thing is, you already have the mainstream people subscribed. Yeah. Now you want to get in like the people that with a bit more niche interest. Like, yeah, you know what? I do want that furry surgeon simulator. It'd be good. Okay, so we better do number ones because we're already starting to run a bit late.
Yeah.
Number one's best thing at E3.
Oh, shit. I kind of... Because I didn't actually order this thing that well. Fuck it. Surge 2.
That was barely even at E3. It kind of came out at the end of it.
No, my number one, because I did think this was fucking awesome, was the Gears of War.
Oh, yes, of course.
I was so great. So... They come out, going to talk some Gears of War, and they know what everyone wants. They want a crossover with Vinyl Pop.
That was the wall breaks down and just like Pop Marcus there.
And they played it so straight. I loved it. And like, it's legitimately coming out. But
they had actually nothing from the game, just that teaser.
No, but that as a fake out.
And then they double fake out. And they go and here's another Gears game, and it's Gears Tactics. Yeah, it's like XCOM like on PC.
Yeah, it's like, do you want Gears Tactics? I'm like, well, it's a cover shooter, so yes, this actually makes a lot of sense.
It makes sense. It's part of the universe, but this still isn't what we're here. Yeah. And you were commenting while we were watching it, just like when he finally got to announce Gears 5, just like the relief in his face where the crowd wasn't going to lynch him afterwards of doing a double fake out on Gears of War.
I loved it. Yeah. It was so good.
So it's weird this year, my number ones, so my number two was still just a CGI trailer, and my number one, well, I mean, all trailers are CGI, typically, really.
Yeah.
But still, I'll just call it an animation. Don't expect any of it was from game shots. But we finally saw Cyberpunk 2077's
Oh, yeah.
world.
Oh, look, I'm glad you're saying it because I wanted to put it there.
But the reveal was great. So end of the Xbox conference, they glitch out the screen. It's like, there's one more thing. It starts up. It comes up with all this text. That text includes a bunch of keys for Witcher 3 that just scroll past quickly. Oh, quick, get all the keys. And then it shows not what we expected in the Cyberpunk world. It is bright, it is sunny, it's showing all these different like vignettes of life in this world. Lots of funny, interesting, disturbing concepts all rammed together really fast, really good. With the V as the main character's name. It's customizable. You can be a man or a woman. You can create who you want. They didn't detail that in that came out later. But yeah, just a really, really interesting world, and not just some people were disappointed because it wasn't the dark, rainy, gritty, bloody thing that we'd seen in the initial teaser years ago. But that's still in the game.
Yeah, like, that's still there. Actually,
but just saying that it's not all neo-noir cyberpunk.
Yeah.
It is... It's this full cyberpunk world with all sorts of tones in it. Also, there's this one shot with like a cabbie with 4 like very obvious androids in the back, like looking at their guns and everything. And it's a beautiful shot that shows so many ideas crammed together of what this future can be and everything.
It sold the world really well. And so I think the reason why I think it's safe to get excited about it is because I have no doubt that Project Red can make a good game.
Yes.
They've proven time and time again they know how to make very good games.
Yes.
So it's more like, well, is the world going to be interesting to move around in?
Yeah.
And then they go, well, here's all the things. And you're like,
there was a certain level that, I mean, it's not quite this, but I kind of worried it'd be a bit grimdark. It would just be this really hardcore, dark world of misery and cybernetics infiltrating. And it's like, no, there's lots of funny things going on. It's... but also the things that they put in there is that in all the background stuff and everything, they had like an FAQ that explained a whole lot of stuff about the games that you just turn up the brightness a bit and go through it. It's like, oh no,
they hid a bunch of stuff in there.
We're putting it in there, and there was a behind closed doors demo that we don't get to see, but one day we'll see it. The game's first person.
Yep.
As I say, it's got character customization, which is not something they've previously done. You always played a particular character in their games, so you can pick backgrounds as well as physical.
Which I'm happy for, because I've always preferred to make a character in an RPG.
Well,
than
I'm very much the opposite.
But I know you're the opposite. Yeah,
it's almost like we're different people, James.
It's hard.
Come on, jump on my Yanni back and let's merge. But yeah, it was a good teaser in that it still didn't show us the game, but it explained a lot about the game that we did not know yet. And they also just did a big information dump. So whilst they're not ready to show the public yet, we still know a lot about
I would
the
have
game.
liked to have seen that for Elder Scrolls 6.
Yeah.
If they had that level of detail for Elder Scrolls 6, so they went, hey, here's the world, and here's the characters.
I would have liked to see that for Starfield.
Yeah, you're right. Like a Starfield was like a camera pan.
Yeah, and there's a satellite. I mean, Starfield is still pitched as a next gen game. It's not this gen. But so we're still away from like, look, we want a tone board.
Yeah,
go onto Pinterest and mark all the things that are Starfield.
Look, in about two E3s, there's going to be another Elder Scrolls announcement, which is going to be the world that
we've started production now.
Yeah, it'll be like Elder Scrolls, I don't know, Hammerfell or something like that. And like, okay, I know where it is now.
What if it was Elder Scrolls 2077?
What if it was Skyrim 2? Which I know is the internal joke.
You're pretty good. Okay, so that sort of does most things. We are starting to run a bit late. Well, sort of on time late. There's so many things we didn't really
because we didn't even mention Sekiro 2. Sekiro Shadows Die Twice.
Yeah, that's a new fun project.
The Resident Evil 2 remaster, which is looking real nice.
It's looking really good. And you can still play as tofu in it.
So it's tofu.
Yeah. In the original, there was a special mode where you could play as a big block of tofu.
Jesus. I'm glad they got in there. Actually, something surprised me.
Battletoads?
Oh, yeah, Battletoads was announced. Something surprised me a little bit was We Happy Fews actually looks more interesting to me now.
Yeah.
Looks like Gearbox has been putting in a story.
Dying Light 2 was announced.
Yeah.
With, who was... it was Avalon? Was it Chris Avalon that was doing the story?
Oh, yeah.
He was quickly trying to remember which writer it was.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Chris Avalon was writing it. We got a very brief Halo Infinite thing.
We never mentioned Fallout 76.
We can go
deep on that another day.
Yeah, I mean, I actually would say we'll talk about it another day, and it is definitely worth checking out the No Clip documentary. That'll do a better job than explaining anything we did.
Halo Infinite was announced.
Yeah, there was another Here's a Video, and Master Chief is a thing. What else we have? Yeah, Surge 2 I mentioned.
A few smaller games that I was interested in, but I'll talk about them another day.
Neo 2.
There was more... I fucking hate Sea of Thieves announcements. They never show anything. They just have someone talking about shit.
I think they've lost it. I think the boat, as you could say, has sailed on that one.
Well, that's the thing. It's like... What they potentially announced, which was potentially pirate crews on the seas, is a very important thing that would make the game much better. But we don't know that's exactly what it is because they didn't show fucking anything. Yeah. And you don't have the trust for us to take your word for it.
No, I think even
you need to put up or shut up.
Yeah, even the apologists now, I think, are falling off.
Yes. Okay, I mean, there's other stuff there. Oh my god, the best worst trailer. Did you watch the Square Enix? The Square Enix was pretty bad too, but it was The Quiet Man.
No.
So The Quiet Man is this it's filmed live action,
like an FMV game
in an alley, and it's just these guys beating up someone, I think, and then this guy comes in. He's the Quiet Man. Okay, here we go. And he's quite quiet. He doesn't say anything. And like, what are you looking at, Quiet Man? I'm making my own dialogue here. It's
no, keep going. I love it.
He doesn't say anything because he's the Quiet Man. Like, staying quiet, are you? I'll show you. And then it cuts to gameplay footage for about 4 seconds of the Quiet Man just like quickly throwing this guy, like punching him in the face, like, and then it goes back to the FMV, and then it goes like the Quiet Man. Like, what the fuck is this going? I don't know. Where's the Quiet Man? The best worst trailer of E3. It was amazing.
Yeah, I haven't actually watched the Square Enix thing, but I hear it was fucking terrible.
It was terrible. Trevor Saves the Universe. That's basically Rick and Morty the game, which looks pretty good. But it's a weird thing. We'll find out more as it goes. But it works in VR and just as a standard game. But the game's different. It has different content.
Okay.
Depending on what version you're playing with. So it's specific to the way you're viewing the world, which is kind of cool. There was one of the games, I've forgotten what it was. It was another... man, everything's coming out of my head now. There was the other From Software game that they announced.
There was a From Software game from the Devolver Digital one. Where it's like robot something X something. Okay.
No. No, that one.
Yeah.
No, that's not the one I'm talking about. Oh, that's an old game that they're sort of re-releasing.
There's a From remaster.
No, there's a From like Victorian mystery, like really different to everything else.
Okay, I didn't miss that one.
No, we'll have to look it up. Yeah, because there was a new Platinum game that was announced at the Square Enix one, and it showed nothing.
Yeah,
it's like, oh, good. I don't know what any of this is. Man, Bayonetta 3 wasn't there either.
No.
Fuck everything. Nintendo's not showing anything.
No more Pikmin?
No more Pikmin yet. Anyway, Harold Halibut looked great. Actually, it does. You should go and look at Harold Halibut, like the trailer. It's just an adventure game. It's done stop motion-y, but I think you might actually, because I know you don't like stop motion very much.
I've come around a bit on stop motion.
It doesn't move like stop motion.
Okay.
But it's super highly detailed. It actually looks amazing. It looks incredible the way they've done it. So that was the 2-second one in the Microsoft. So quite a year. There's so many other stuff, like After Party got a trailer.
Who won?
The investors in Command and Conquer Rivals. So much stuff. We can't drag it out forever. How Hitman 2 was announced.
Oh yeah. Gonna have multiplayer.
So much stuff. Yeah. Other stuff. We'll just leave stuff. Can I quickly tell you about one game I played? Because there's not a whole lot to talk.
Go for it.
So I got into, I guess it's a beta at the moment, for Hot Lava. And it's
no, say that again.
Hot Lava.
Oh yeah.
And it's exactly what you think it is. It's mostly based around no, it goes into domestic stuff as well. Most of the levels I was playing were in a school. But it's just like you get to walk around the school and it's like, ready for the level? Like, okay, so the floor becomes lava. And you've got to jump around on desks and walls and everything and navigate the world. The movement's pretty good. It takes a bit of skill to learn. It's relatively forgiving, but it's not automatic. And I'm like, okay, this is kind of cool. And levels going on a bit. Like, I don't know if the level's a bit too much for this because I kind of expected a bit quick snappy thing. But it really took me like 10, 15 minutes to get through the level. And then other people were running around. I'm like, oh my God, I'm live multiplaying with everyone jumping around a school in hot lava. And so like you're like, so suddenly you're racing people and like you're seeing how someone else is navigating an area. Like, oh, I'm going to try that jump. And like you're chasing them and then they fall into lava and like, fuck you. You swing across it. Like this one little of just having this seamless multiplayer. I took this game from like a fun diversion to this is going to be real fun.
That sounds amazing. What are you playing that on?
It's on PC at the moment. I think it's still a little while off, but
okay. That sounds so great. It's so good. I want it.
It's a great concept. And the lava looks really good too.
What's it called again?
Hot Lava. Okay, and then E3. Yeah, great.
Yeah.
Love it. I'll thank you for listening or watching 8.5bit. You can see our website, 8.5bit.com, our Twitter and Facebook. Please like and share anything like on that. Subscribe to us on iTunes. And if you do, please leave us a review because reviews help us share the love. And watch us on YouTube.
Yeah, and join our Discord.
Join our Discord.
Yeah. Occasionally, we now post free games.
Yes.
Free!
Well, that's
it's
really not much. It's less exciting than he says. We just have a specific channel on the Discord. But we just whenever there's like a free game available,
we're
we'll put a
actually-
link there. It's not like here's Witcher 3 codes.
No.
Although
No.
maybe sometimes.
I don't know. I do have a lot of keys. I probably just paste in there every now and then.
Yeah. I've been your host, Paul.
I've been James.
And we'll catch you all later, folks.
See you, everyone.
Oh, also, they'll cancel that.
Yeah.
Next show will probably be a little while because I'll be in Japan.
Yeah.
And I won't be doing a show from there. Maybe James will do one on his own.
Maybe just James.
That'll be fun. Won't it?
Yes.
This show's never ending. The never ending podcast. Nice crying. And now we end.